agave only grows in tropical climates.
Is agave like avocado?
Nah, it's I think it's a I think it's a little more.
Everybody coming in, welcome to the second, what is this, season 2 premiere, Be Water Podcast.
You know, technically agave is
We're about to get started.
Yeah. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying?
About to get us cut off. With this trap music. It's the devil's music. Demons. And we are on. Welcome. We are on live right now. This is the official season 2 premiere of the Be Water Podcast. Welcome everybody. It's your boy Goody B for real. We taking a shot, start everything off. I'm here with my 2 co-hosts. Oh my God, it's just like college. My 2 co-hosts, Julio _Sniper to my left, and Gary Wheels with 2 R's.
2 R's.
To my other left. You gotta check him out though. He just dropped some fire ass shirts, so look him up. Like I said, his handle was Gary Wheels with 2 R's. He got a couple shirts, got a hoodie out. He lifts cars and shit. That's what he does on the regular.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
That's why he's called Gary Wheels.
You don't have to lift the car to wear it though.
Yeah, well, you don't have to lift the car to wear it, but if you wear it, you're officially.
It might help you.
You have to be dedicated to eventually lift the car. That's the whole.
If you have the car and you have the
the
baby and the car's on top of the baby, you just throw the hoodie on it and it'll help you lift it off.
There you go.
But you gotta
If that ever
start
happens.
with like a go-kart, maybe a small lawnmower, and then you get to the cars. You gotta work your way up.
You don't overexert yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe a lime scooter.
Yep, that officially. That got weird. So, yeah, so we're back. And
So is this not on?
yeah, no, it's not on, but we're recording on the actual laptop. So we got footage.
All right.
Ooh, man, that was that shot. Excuse me. That was rude. But yeah, season 2, episode 1. Gucci, Jussie, Prada. Episode 1. That's what it is. Like Gucci, Louis, Prada, Gucci, Jussie, Prada. Because we're going to talk about all the bullshit that's going on with the Gucci campaign and the Prada and all these other... Huh?
Yeah, there's a monkey.
Prada had
they
it.
did the monkey thing.
Yeah, and who else was it? It was another one.
Burberry.
All these fucking couture brands, and of course the fiasco that's going on with Jussie Smollett right now, Smollett, whatever his name is. But it's been a while. It's been like it's been like a month or so. So we're gonna catch up on just some of the other current events that we want to talk about at first. This is an open water discussion. That means that you don't know where it's going to go. But we're definitely going to end off with Jussie Smollett and Gucci Louis Prada. But, yeah, what's up? Follow the page, B_Water Podcast. We're on B_Water right now with the live stream. But follow the page at B_Water Podcast. And check me out during the week. I try to put some motivational stuff up, some other stuff that, just to try to help somebody change whatever their direction is around, or, just give them motivation through the day, whatever it is. That's why I try to put out there, because I need it my damn self, but, we all need that. But, all right, what's the current event? What we talking about? We want to do sports? What we want to start with right now?
What you think? There's a lot going on.
There's a whole lot going on.
What do you think about Zion hurting his knee?
So it turns out it wasn't as bad as it looked, which is good. But I still think he should sit out. Yeah, because you got to think, draft is what, April, May? When is the NBA draft?
Soon-ish.
Yeah.
So his stock ain't dropping. He's still getting picked first. But I think if he sits out...
I mean, Kyrie, the same thing happened with him.
Kyrie played way less of the season.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's the same thing. Like, Zion played more, and he got hurt. So, if anything, he has more film. Like, he's not...
Well, no. He is going to win overall. I'm saying
That's what I'm saying, sit out.
I know. I'm saying he should sit out because with the level of value that he has, if he were to sit out and do an NCAA,
can y'all hear?
They would lose so much value by him deciding to sit out that I think it would force him to reconsider the compensation of college players. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I think he should sit out because more of the message it would send, more so than protecting his own value. His own value is set in stone.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the message he can send by sitting out.
I mean, that depends on if he's that type of person.
I don't know either, but yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think that would help further the progress of NCAA possibly having those decisions being made. Because say he was injured a lot more severe and positively risk his career in the NBA, no compensation, no money. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If he was getting paid like to the extent that he could capitalize off his name, you know, he'd be good.
They gotta fix that situation. How they don't pay these athletes. That shit don't make no sense.
First off, if he would have like really, really hurt himself, he's still gonna get picked up. We all know that. He's just not gonna go first. If he were to tear his ACL, he's still gonna get picked up because ACLs are getting repaired way quicker than they used to be. Technology's so far more advanced. And like I said with the whole Kyrie thing, Kyrie got hurt way earlier and still went first. Yep. So, he don't really have nothing to lose.
No, he's going to definitely be first regardless.
Yeah, I mean, if I was him, I'd sit out. And I'm wondering if he has like insurance. But I don't know. But I mean, even still, that.
Yeah, he does.
He does. But even still, like, nowhere near what he's gonna make. You know.
Right.
And also, I don't like the Nike backlash. Like, oh, okay, what you gonna wear? You're not wearing Nikes no more because you're afraid the bottom will go out.
Well, that's just, you know what I'm saying, that knee-jerk reaction, no pun intended. But I think Nike signed. They made a statement saying this is an isolated incident. Yet we're going to look into what caused it, and it is an isolated incident because you don't see that happening on a consistent basis. But I still think he could use this to send a message. Because he's not going to lose anything. He's fine. But the NCAA would stand to lose a lot if he were not in the March Madness tournament and if he was vocal about why he was sitting out.
I mean, I totally agree. I think Coach K, namely, all the money that he makes every single year, those players should be making some money.
And look, this is the thing. The NCAA doesn't necessarily have to be the ones that pay them. I think the players should be able to make money off their own likeness outside of the NCAA. If I'm Zion Williamson, video games.
Well, that's why they stopped making them.
Well, even if it's not licensing their image as just NCAA player, because they would have to, you know what I'm saying, license the actual merchandise that has the NCAA logo on it from that school. But I'm saying just go out and like sign autographs for money, stuff like that, do appearances for money, walk through things like that. Have like you can endorse local products in your neighborhood that have nothing to do with the NCAA and make all that money back.
They can sign autographs,
but they can't sell them.
No, they can't sell them.
That's what I'm saying. They should be able to.
They should be able to sell themselves because they're being sold as entertainment. So
yeah, 100%.
They're entertainers, and all the other entertainers get paid a handsome fee to entertain, and the reciprocators of that situation are getting a damn good. They said the cheapest ticket at the UNC Duke game was like $1,200 or some shit, or like $20-some-hundred. It was something stupid, like.
I think if you're a one and doneer, you should be getting paid. I think it's easier to make a case for those.
They got to make some
kids.
kind of scale, like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's easier to make a case for those kids than it is walk on who busts his ass to get on the team and is not seen before.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they should just get endorsements. I mean, even if they just get like jersey sales or something like that, like.
Oh yeah.
Even if they did that, I feel like they should at least get some kind of reward for their likeness that's built to the scale of what they offer as an entertainer.
Because the amount of value they generate for these programs and the coaches and the fucking NCAA in general, there's no shortage. It's not like they won't be losing anything, and it would potentially lose. Because look, once the NBA develops this G League and these amateur leagues that are going to start popping up, the NCAA is going to be faced with existential crisis. Because if I'm a hooper and I can go over here and make $65K a year in some G League, or I go one and done at fucking some bullshit state school wherever I'm at. You know what I'm saying? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because it's not like you fucking going 4 years if you are of worth to make that kind of money. These dudes are one and done, and not even a whole year. They leave right after the season.
Well, honestly, I feel
They
like
went to school for 8 months.
I feel like those kids should still have the option to go straight from high school because I feel like they hurt the college game. I really do.
I mean, I don't want to
one and done.
Yeah, I feel like they hurt the college game because I mean, at that point, it's like you're watching like a poor man's NBA game. At that point, like you're watching Zion, you're not watching an actual college player. You're watching an NBA star who just so happens to play in college.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they would allow them to do what they used to do in the past,
yeah,
I feel like the college
sure.
game would elevate itself.
That is true. It would be more competitive if players who had the potential of being in the NBA immediately just went.
Right.
That's a good point.
Like, think about it. You got Marcus Howard from Marquette dropping 50 points a game. Like, that's cool, but, like, I don't want to see every team get blown out by, like, 30. I mean, the tournament's going to be good, though. I'm excited.
It just shows you that competitive basketball is on the back burner to big business.
Yeah. You know what, though? Zion's going to play. I guarantee it. He's not sitting out.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
he's
think
getting a lot of.
anybody want to see
He's
that.
going to get a lot of pressure to play, but I think
he wants to play.
Yeah.
Well, I would think he would too. I mean, he's a young kid. He's having fun. He has a chance to win a championship.
His best friend still on the
and
team.
he's in the prime of his college
Right.
life with just how he's being treated on campus. He wants to,
He's
you
getting-
know what I'm saying,
I
look
think
out
he's
for
getting-
those. I think he wants to really like deliver that to his school because he seems like a good kid. He
That's
seems
what I'm
like he's not selfish.
I think he's getting more pressure to not play.
Well, yeah, from like his agents and people that care about him from a professional standpoint, absolutely.
And NBA players. I mean, did you see what Boogie Cousins said? He was like, why?
Well, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's definitely getting pressure.
Right.
He's getting a lot of pressure from both sides, I would think. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's still a lot of people saying they make a lot of money off of him on the college level.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking of the NBA?
As far as what?
Okay, MVP predictions, finals predictions.
So Chris Paul's getting MVP.
I started off with predictions at the beginning of the season. This is episode 1, so we got to put our predictions out there. We're not going to stay too much on NBA and all that, but yeah, what's your predictions for?
So MVP, I would say right now James Harden's still the front line. He had this historic streak of 30-plus point games. He's averaging like 37 points a game right now. But with CP3 coming back, I think his numbers going to take a little dip, and Giannis is going to have a chance to leapfrog him because Giannis is a close second right now in MVP.
Yeah, the way they talk about Giannis, I feel like he might get it. I felt like Harden earlier, but now the shit they saying about him is kind of like
You gotta
making me
follow that
cringe.
narrative,
It's making me
you know what
cringe. Like they're saying like, okay, in the next couple of years he's gonna be the best player ever.
Yeah.
How can you say that? How can you say that?
What do you mean?
Giannis, the best player ever in the next couple of years? No.
He looks like a fucking.
I mean, he gonna be up there.
He looks like
Yeah,
Shaq
damn.
mixed with fucking LeBron right now, bro. He looks like a fucking stud.
Looks
But the
like
thing is,
Shaq.
they got the best record in the NBA.
Yeah, but he's not he's far from the best player ever. But that's the stuff I've been hearing on ESPN. I'm like, that
But
makes
you know,
sense.
these motherfuckers on ESPN say shit to get a reaction. They got hot takes for days.
But
I don't know about
that's-
best player ever.
That's a hyperbole.
That's
Like,
the fucking
too much.
yeah. That's some Max Kellerman shit. But
Right.
the MVP race, I definitely think he's on close second right now. If he's not first already.
Yeah, I think
Because they got the best record in the East. I think they might have the best record in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that plays into it as far as MVP. They look at the record.
What's
of the
20
team.
friendly?
You feel me? So he has.
420.
If he has that kind of MVP season, and they win the East, and as far as the number 1 seed, yeah, he definitely doing that. Because you got look, they team Giannis, the MVP. He was close for the MVP there. If they would have won, he'd have probably got the MVP for the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? He's out here banging on niggas like, you know what I'm saying, on a different level. Like he really is like he really is something different.
I mean, he's a freak. That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But my determinant for a great player is, okay, how good would they be if they weren't that size? Like, what is their skill set? If Giannis was a regular sized person, he would be really as good. He just started playing basketball like 5 years ago. 5, 6
He
years
felt
ago.
like that with LeBron before too.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
He's
saying.
getting
That's
more
why.
skilled now, though. But I feel like he was pure.
That's why I feel like Harden is a
Athleticism.
better.
With vision, though. With vision. He
Right.
always
I mean,
pass.
there's
His
still-
pass was small.
Think about it this way: like offensively, there are still holes in LeBron's game.
Yeah. But that's why I said I can't give him the GOAT. I can't give him the GOAT.
Name an offensive hole in Harden's game. I can't follow him.
Not offensively.
Exactly.
Because he can pass, shoot, so I set a pick. I just set a pick. He must pick a role pretty well.
I guess.
But not on the set a pick part. Like,
that's an effort thing. That's an effort thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the one thing he might lack sometimes.
That takes 30 seconds to learn. That's an effort thing.
He'll dribble the clock out and pass the ball with 4 seconds left on the clock or some shit sometimes.
I think James Harden has a game that is not respected by his peers, though.
Oh, 100%.
So I think
they respect him when they're playing.
But
they hate it.
It's not respected as far as he's hunting for fouls. You know what I'm saying? He's traveling. So a lot of the players don't really respect his game in a way that I think really would help his case as far as generate the momentum behind his fanfare, which is part of the MVP discussion.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Giannis might definitely get it.
Yeah,
but it's definitely between those two.
PG he close third though, because Paul George is having a fucking incredible season.
I don't feel like he got enough publicity out there.
He's starting to.
They're not talking about him enough.
They talking about him a lot more than they ever have.
Yeah, they feel a lot more now. But I'm just saying.
In the MVP race.
Yeah, they talk about him being the number one guy out there, but the only reason that is because Westbrook is like, you know what, I want to fucking win, so I'm gonna let him have it.
Well, Westbrook's in a fucking career low as far as his percentages too. He's kind of slumping.
Right, which is a smart thing to do. It's like, okay, if he got the hot hand, feed him.
Well, they like what, third in the West, fourth?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna be hard out in the playoffs. They'll be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Paul George probably third. I would say top 5 in the MVP race. Giannis, Harden, Paul George. I'd say I mean, I guess you gotta throw Durant in there. He's like what, top 4? He's definitely top 4 in scoring.
Yeah.
KD.
Yeah, but Steph in there yet?
Nah, because I don't think his I think he would be like a close 6 to the top 5. I think KD's numbers overall this whole season have been so consistent. His scoring load that he's taking on. I mean, he's just so consistent. He's always there.
Dame's balling.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's
he's not in the
MVP talk.
Yeah, he's not in the MVP talk. But I mean, is he ever going to be? No, of course not.
I mean, he would have to have like a historical season. But I think you got Embiid for the 5th.
No, just from the talk. I like Embiid.
I would say just from the talk, I would give him that. But I don't know.
I like Embiid a lot. He's my new favorite big for sure.
Yeah, he's improving. He's skilled.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He gives me Shaq vibes, but he can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in the post and his having size, you know what I'm saying? Being a threat, offense and defense. Mm-hmm. Like I like him. I was a Shaq fan, big Shaq fan, from the jump.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that jersey you put on.
Yeah,
man.
I found the jersey.
What size was that?
Come on, bro.
I'm just asking.
Come on.
I'm the messenger.
I don't know where you're going with this. I
just want to know what size.
I would like to know where you're going with this. Yes, I would.
What size is the jersey?
It was a 44. I don't know exactly what that
is.
It might be a medium. I don't know, but
in what grade?
It fits. That's all that matters.
Said jersey.
It fits. What'd you say?
In what grade did you purchase said jersey?
Doesn't matter now. Okay, it's here in the now in the present, and I'm wearing it this present summer.
Okay.
So.
This summer.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm breaking it out.
Hey, man,
body might need that 56, bro.
Body positivity is a real thing.
What?
No more fat shaming.
That's what I'm saying. No more fat shaming, man.
Just do your thing.
Wait a minute.
You want the gut out?
Oh. You trying to call me fat?
Yes.
What are you
triggering.
That is a trigger. I was a fat child.
But hey,
you can't do stuff like that.
Just own it.
I can't believe this.
Just put the hashtags under your pictures.
I need to be friends.
Hashtag body posse.
Body
I'm changing the show. The show's gonna be a Dolo thing.
Fitspo.
Fitspo. What's
goals?
What is Fitspo? What the fuck are you talking?
Oh my god! Come on now.
All right, I don't know.
Hashtag keto. Keto wellness.
Keto wellness. Have y'all ever considered the keto diet?
I was doing it for a little bit.
You was doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you told me you was doing it.
Yeah. It was real difficult, bro, because you realize how much shit got carbs in it and sugar, and it's just like I ain't skipping out on the. You know what I'm saying? It's just like little things you can't have. It's like makes it a lot harder than, you know what I'm saying, just not eating bread, bro.
I don't know. I'm not gonna do that. I don't think.
I mean, it's not for everybody. I mean, I like to. I call my diet now a modified keto diet. You know what I'm saying? I'll just minimize my carbs. I don't cut them completely. You know.
Yeah.
Because I still think carbs, like a good pasta after a workout. You know what I'm saying? That'll help you rebuild and get some muscle on. But it works, bro. It really works.
Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I seen it. My coworker, he lost hella weight on the keto. Like, heavy set white guy. He like damn near skinny now. Like that shit's crazy. I almost was sick. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a little excessive, but regardless, it should be cool. I mean, he lost a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say it don't work, but
I'm looking for a steroid plug. So you know.
Oh my god!
You wanna
if you know
have that captured on the wax here?
I'm looking for a steroid plug.
Right. Edit that out in the post production.
Redacted. God damn.
I have a debilitating disease. So I'm just gonna get it from a doctor.
You ain't no fucking disease.
Sure I did.
Big ass head.
This nigga's sick. I just thought about that shit. Oh man.
You said what,
man?
Gotta fucking get some vitamin C after that, bro. He's sick, yo.
I'm fine.
Fucked it up. I better not get sick after.
I get sick, man. I just got over the flu.
Where's the fucking? We need another shot.
Yeah.
You had the flu. Oh, you did have. You told me you
I
had.
had the West Side swine flu.
Both of y'all motherfucking sick ass niggas need to get out of here.
Had the it's a new hybrid flu.
Okay, all right.
I'm going back to my predictions. So I feel like in the finals is going to be the Boston Celtics. I don't know who they're going to be in the conference finals though, but I do feel like
Raptors.
the Warriors are going to face LeBron and the Lakers. They're going to go to low seed and they're going to shock people. The young boys are going to come to life and miraculously LeBron's going to turn Superman again and we're going to get to the finals and end up losing to the Warriors. I'm a Lakers fan if y'all don't know. But, he's a Lakers fan and he's a CP3 fan. So, just a preface, but, great job. That's a party foul. But, yeah, so the Warriors going to get there and they're going to face the Celtics and the Celtics are going to just lose. I feel like it's like a six game series, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, if that.
The Celtics lose, and then they're going to need something, and then they're going to throw the whole house at New Orleans to get AD, and then it's going to be Kyrie and AD because they're going to want AD out of the West. Why not? You know, put him over there in the East. They had the most to offer the Celtics.
Yeah.
And they didn't take the deal with the Lakers, so they could have. And the Lakers can't give up nothing that they didn't already offer. You know? So it's like they wanted the Lakers, they could have already did that. You know? So I just feel like I don't feel a reason why they would have waited and all the rumors around why they waited. But I feel like they're waiting for the Celtics offer. And Jason Tatum also, he said that shit if it was me and AD, I'd trade me too. He said that. So I feel like he's open to going to a new team so he can be the man on a new team. So that wouldn't even be a bad move, you know.
All these egos.
Yeah, you already know. But I feel like Kyrie and AD, because Kyrie can still do his thing because AD's not really an alpha guy. So Kyrie wants to be that, so he can go ahead and do his thing. AD gonna put the numbers up. They're gonna keep a lot of people probably still. They got 2 first fives on the team. 2 starting lineups, damn near, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's gonna happen and they're gonna get to the championship and the Lakers gonna get KD because LeBron gonna know he gonna need help. He gonna need somebody to carry him there. So yeah. KD gonna leave and go to probably the next best thing, which is the Lakers, like he did last time. And he is gonna go there with LeBron. They're not gonna have to give up that much. If they just get KD with all the young boys he already got, keep some of the reserves, like I feel like they're gonna be right. They would get to the damn finals just with that. And they got KD and LeBron.
You know, I don't think anybody wants to play with LeBron. I really don't.
Yeah, I feel like KD is the one that would. You know why?
Because he a bitch?
Yes, partially.
Yeah.
Because I feel he doesn't want to be that number one guy.
He never does.
And he enjoyed being the number two guy with Steph. You see how much fun he had.
Yeah.
So the only other people that would be an alpha over him is LeBron and Steph.
You could be
in the whole league.
You could be a Hall of Fame player.
That would make
still be
sense.
A bitch. And that's what he is.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's still one of the best scorers of all time.
Right, but he not a killer.
Yeah, I mean, he's a killer when it comes down to the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's shown that with the Warriors, not so much with. Well, he did too with the OKC too. I can't say that. He just lost to LeBron, but he did show a lot of clutchness. He showed some clutch game, at least in the regular season. He showed that, but you know, when it counted, he was failing until he got to the Warriors. So
I mean, he talked all that shit. So.
Yeah, he talking a whole lot of shit.
That's a new thing. That's a new thing.
He's doing that this year because he's getting into his free agency season. Mm-hmm. It's time for him to be relevant. Yeah. So that's why he's putting all this narrative out there because he copying off LeBron, sitting in the back seat with LeBron, riding around, giddy, all that bullshit. Because he about to come the fuck over there. He want to learn from Magic. He want to learn from Kobe. He want to learn from LeBron. You know what I'm saying? What are you over there? Bunch of winners over there.
I guess. I don't know. If I'm KD, I'm already better than LeBron, so it's not really.
He gonna show it on the team with LeBron, though. He gonna be the man on LeBron's team.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's wins all around. Mm-hmm. It's wins all around. He can be breaking records, breaking Kobe's records and LeBron's records in there.
Really?
Oh damn! I didn't even hit. Yeah, let me hit that.
You have?
No, I don't remember. But I'll tell you, man.
Oh, stop.
I ain't been sick in a long time, so it's y'all, motherfucker. Hey, I felt like we just took a shot. Is this the third one?
It's the second one.
Okay. I just took a shot myself.
Maybe you shouldn't. You don't.
I'm tripping. But no. That might be my last one, but sorry.
Hey man, you do something.
They try to kill me, y'all. They try to kill my ass.
That's not true.
They try to kill me. No, but yeah, I feel like KD can go to Lakers. But think of this, right? And look, the Nike is the number one brand in the league right now. You feel me? So I feel like they got the most, huh?
It's always good.
Always been. Yeah, always gonna be at this point probably. But they right now is on top on football and basketball. But if you think about it, if KD went to the Lakers and if fucking AD went to the Celtics, that's Nike, and Nike. So if they had the Boston Celtics versus the Lakers, which is already an explosive rivalry, the most explosive rivalry in the league, you feel me? With two Nike guys, the four best players in the league. Damn near, you know what I'm saying? Four of the best. Yeah. I just feel like that's what they're going to do. And they the in crowd of the league. You know what I'm saying? So
wait, so keeping with the sports narrative, I guess. How do you feel about the whole Robert Kraft thing? We were
tell me
about that.
Yeah, tell me about what happened with that because I didn't get to read that.
He got caught up with a prostitution ring. He was in Florida and he bought some ass from this.
Florida.
He bought some pussy from a spy real quick. And he got caught up.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was a
Holy, he bought it from who?
He was in Florida.
Okay. And he just got it from his random.
He was at a spy. They had a prostitution ring through the spy.
Oh.
Yeah. So they brought him up on charges today. He got charged with like 10 counts on misdemeanor. No, I don't know if it was 10, but it was a lot.
That was
I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah, it was 8.
It was 8. Yeah, he got charged with misdemeanor buying pussy.
Misdemeanor.
Yeah, he got caught up. $70. They said $70.
That was it?
He paid $70.
The bigger thing.
That's what I read.
The bigger thing though is that they were running. The report says they were running a sex trafficking ring through that salon. So they were all like young Asian girls.
Oh,
shit. Yeah.
So like if he just got caught like in an alley or something with like a prostitute, like that's like a slap on the wrist. You may do something for that, like but you gonna pay something.
I mean he lied on time.
But being, connected with a sex trafficking ring, like obviously he knew and obviously he frequented that place.
Man. They set him up.
100%. They
set him up. He just won.
Me and Paul were just saying the whole narrative with everybody rounding up all the rappers. I mean, Robert Kraft and Meek Mill have a really close relationship.
Yeah, damn.
The whole prison reform.
So that's that's the thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he
Damn.
just started getting publicly linked with Meek Mill like a couple months ago.
Damn.
And Meek Mill just started getting into actively he created an organization called
They drawing lines.
I can't remember what the name of it was, but him and Jay-Z teamed up and formed this alliance to try to get at-risk men out of jail and things like that. So I think him connected to him during this time. Robert Kraft connected to Meek Mill during this time. They probably kept their eyes on Robert Kraft, started doing a little digging. Like they probably had that in the tuck, and then just was like, "Oh, he rich, he donates to the whatever, so we gonna hold him down." But as soon as he started towing that line, bro, I'm telling you, it's real.
It's definitely real, yo. I really feel like they drawing a line right now with all that shit with the Gucci, Louis, Prada we gonna talk about. That shit drawing a line. I feel like these corporations is trying to draw a line. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
What you mean?
I'm saying like where because it just it had to be known from all the people that stuff gets passed down through. But these major brands, all the money they put into their merchandise, they know that somebody would have had to say like this might come off the wrong way. So that just leads me to say, now that's an opinion, but I feel like that's a very high value because we know how many levels that goes through.
So I think what me and Paul had discussed about it was that with Gucci not being an American company, it's very possible. It's possible. I'm not saying it's likely.
They have a major Gucci head base in America.
I know, obviously. But
here,
I'm just saying it's possible.
I feel like it's very unlikely. So
that's what I said.
But then to add to the possibility is these other brands doing bullshit too at the same time.
Right. So let's say somebody higher up, an executive level, saw it.
Fuck y'all niggas.
Hold on, it said saw it, realized that it would rub people the wrong way, and let it slide through the cracks.
There's a lot of.
Why would they do that?
Right. Right. Exactly. And that's what we're coming down to in this conversation.
No, what I'm saying, like, all right, put yourself in the mind state of someone who thinks in nefarious ways like that, and
it's really a slap in the face of all the motherfucking rappers who put the most money in. See, regular
what do they have
like
to gain from
that?
What do they have to? But my question is, what do they have to gain from that?
The percentage of their revenue the majority of their revenue comes from people outside of our community. Yes. Like a very large percentage. Yes. So I think what they're doing is creating outrage in our community, which has the loudest voice, so that they can get free marketing from that. Because
you think it's on purpose?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's engineered outrage.
Really?
I do.
I definitely think it's
because
on purpose.
Here's why. They are going to get so much marketing just from their name in the news, that the amount of people who possibly be attracted to the brand for reasons outside of the racial thing. Who just,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
What you mean?
I'm saying like where, because it just, it had to be known from all the people that stuff gets passed down through, but these major brands, all the money they put into their merchandise, they know that somebody would have had to say like this might come off the wrong way. So that just leads me to say, now that's an opinion, but I feel like that's a very high value because we know how many levels that goes through.
So I think what me and Paul had discussed about it was that with Gucci not being an American company, It's very possible.
No.
It's possible. I'm not saying it's likely.
They have a
I'm not saying it's
major
likely.
Gucci head base in America.
I know, obviously.
Major.
Obviously. But
Here.
I'm just saying it's possible.
I feel like
Not
it's
probably.
very unlikely. So
That's what I said.
And
That's what I said.
But then to add to the possibility is these other brands doing bullshit too at the same time.
Right.
Within a couple
So
months.
let's say somebody higher up an executive level saw
Say,
it.
fuck y'all niggas.
Hold on, yeah, it said saw it, realized that it would rub people the wrong way and let it slide through the cracks.
It's a lot of
Why
stuff.
would they do that?
Right. Why exactly? And that's what we're coming down to in this conversation.
No, I'm saying, like, all right, put yourself in the mind state of someone who thinks in nefarious ways like that, and let
it's really a
someone
slap in the face of all the motherfucking rappers who put the most money in. See, regular
What do they have
motherfuckers like
to gain
us
from
don't
that?
put
What
that
do they have
money
to?
into.
But see,
My
the
question
thing
is,
about
what do
it
they have
is
to gain from that?
the percentage of their revenue doesn't. The majority of their revenue comes from people outside of rock music.
Yes.
Like a very large percentage.
Yes.
So I think what they're doing is creating outrage in our
That's why
community,
they-
which has the loudest voice, so that they can get free marketing from that. Because
You think it's on purpose?
absolutely, I think it's
Really?
engineered outrage.
Really?
I do.
I definitely think it's
Because
at least
there's-
on purpose.
there's-
Why
there's
is
on
the
purpose.
question.
Here's why.
I don't
They are going to
It's
get
definitely
so
on purpose.
much marketing just from their name being in the news
Yeah,
that the
that's
amount of
absurd.
people who could possibly be attracted to their brand for reasons outside of the racial thing, who just see it now, they're going to be seeing a bump in revenue from that.
Right.
That would completely offset whatever they lose in the black community.
Yeah.
I really
So it's
just-
just free marketing.
It's smart if that is what they're doing.
I've
That's-
So you don't feel like there's going to be? I feel like the people who would see that, catch that publicity, and choose to support would be mainly racist people. People who have racist mindsets, because even the people who are neutral, they might stay away from it for a second. They know it might offend somebody, or they know it's like that's kind of I don't want to risk that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like. I feel like they should not have projected that to be a good amount of money coming in for them. Most of the racist people are not rich enough to have
Right.
Gucci like that.
Huh? Wait, what? What'd you say?
I'm saying, I know like the most richest ones. Like, of course, like the.
I mean, that's
the
their client base.
supremacists.
That's your client base. Though.
Maybe I don't know if they all.
No,
got
that's
Gucci,
a
Gucci
fact.
wear.
That's a fact.
I know. It's a level. It's a
Right.
stage in there where
It's high-end
that-
fashion.
yeah,
So obviously, people that are in a higher tax bracket are
I'm
their main
talking like the
customers.
highest. I don't know if they touching that, but I know like
Of course they are.
The people who
They don't.
can afford.
You think Bill Gates needs to wear Gucci? You know what I'm saying?
I'm
But
not
no,
saying
no,
that.
That's what I'm saying. Like the highest, the ones who are really influencing shit. I know they're not touching it. I'm saying like the rich level of black rich, but they're Caucasian or whatever their endeavors are.
Well, I was gonna say I think, and this is just my opinion, I think their rich clientele, they don't purchase stuff from Gucci that say you and I would probably purchase from Gucci. They go there and they grab every fucking suit that's like $5K. You know what I mean? Like they're not in there looking for a fucking hit band.
So
Or like,
who you talking about exactly?
I'm saying the white folks that can afford Gucci.
Okay.
They're not going to
They, you
looking
just
for-
going there for a suit.
They're not
Like,
looking for
they
linen
just afford
pants.
it. They afford that. They want good quality.
Right.
And Gucci, even though it's popular in our
Although
community, it offers good quality.
I would get a Gucci suit still to this day, 100%. I
I
told
mean,
Paul
we
that
have
I
had-
would definitely wear a Gucci suit to this
We have
day.
had steady programming throughout all these years of being in the hip hop culture.
What you mean?
And even being black in this country. The way you just value nice shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
mean, it's just in us. It's instilled in
Material
us.
nice shit.
Yeah, like if I remember Dick Gregory said every black
That nigga's
person,
crazy.
every black person, he was very sane though. Every black person that
Fuck me.
got rich has to spend at least $2 million in give back money. Like this money to just recover from all the lack and the hurt, the discomfort that you had. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he just said. But I'm not saying that's everybody, every individual person. We see that it's a very big sample size of black people that's got rich and blown that shit. You know what I'm saying? Rappers, whoever.
That's my
you know.
biggest fear.
But I mean, I'm just saying, it is a real thing because
Being
we
rich
do
and losing all the money.
undergo trauma on a daily basis, at least psychologically. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's why I say you always gotta step back from the world. Sometimes you gotta step back from all the headlines and just all the news and all that shit because it's just weighing you down.
Yeah, honestly,
weighing you down.
I feel like it was a mistake. That's just my opinion. I think it went through the cracks. somehow it was still pushed out there. Obviously, the CEO didn't see it, or maybe he saw it in passing, because the CEO doesn't have time to look at every piece of clothing they put out.
It's
His
not
job's
the
too
CEO.
important.
It's people in place. The
Well,
CEO
no, that's what I'm saying. But obviously, just because the CEO may
Those
not have
people-
known doesn't mean he isn't accountable.
I'm
He's got to be
saying
accountable.
those people have passed a lot of clothes through that were nowhere near racially biased at all.
Yeah.
And then in Black History Month, we get this big ass now. The first little monkey shit that was 2 months ago, but
White people fuck up all the time.
Black people do too. But
No, I'm saying as far as race goes, white people fuck up.
look, they do. But
Well-
big ass multi-million-dollar brands are not in the business of fucking up, and definitely not fucking up their money. And they clearly said, "Fuck all y'all niggas' money. We don't give a fuck." And they probably know that we still gonna buy that shit anyway. T.I. called for a 3-month motherfucking ban because he know his ass himself probably can't go 3 months without wearing motherfucking Gucci.
Well, I mean, that's unfortunate. That's
It's important, but this is what the reality is. The reason why we even value Gucci for us to get mad about Gucci is because of people like T.I. and Soulja Boy.
But see,
and
that's
all these other
terrible
motherfuckers.
because those are impressionable people. I don't value Gucci or
Look.
anything like it.
But look, you value it because you said you want a Gucci suit possibly.
I mean, one day, but only if I was a millionaire. If I could afford it and it wouldn't break my
The
pockets.
people who brought the name Gucci to us were rappers more than likely in our community.
Yeah, I'll say that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to see that. Why is that? Because at some point in time, Rockaware, Pro Kids, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff was the cool stuff to wear. Rockaware, LRG, whatever it is. I don't know if LRG was black. I think that was a black company.
No,
But
I don't know.
it wasn't. All right, yeah, not lifting research group. But of course, FUBU and Fat Farm, all that stuff. But regardless, at some point in time, those people sold those companies. Those companies weren't upheld, and they started getting into Bathing Ape, Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Ibizu, all that kind of stuff. Other, European brands and whatnot. And it kind of built on from there. And Kanye came in with the Gucci backpack, and that's where that kind of status came back. I know it was already there in the past too, but it came back to where it's built to now. But regardless, it's like the artists and the people, sadly, the most successful black people that we see and show you that they're successful are the entertainers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, where it's in your face, this person has money.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. I will say, I mean, if you look at the presidential race, I mean, it's hella black people.
Yeah.
Hella black
You don't know how
Democrats
much they're
right now.
making. I mean, you might think that LeBron James making more, or Meek Mill might make more than that senator. You know what I'm saying? And he is.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just they're not as successful as the people who are the most influential.
Yeah,
Let alone they're the cool.
Right, but
class
just to be
of
devil's
cool.
advocate for a 2nd,
Mhm.
if a black candidate were to become president, the amount of power they have would supersede any monetary, gain.
Well, no, we're talking about influence. We're not talking about success.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I said just to.
Oh, yeah, that's
kinda,
power. I mean, I know.
be contrary.
Well, yeah, no, he was just saying he was just saying
It's the
because
influence on culture.
the influence they have no influence on young culture
More
as far as style.
More
But
the
they
black.
should, though.
They
Why?
should.
What do you mean, why?
Why should they have influence on style? They dress in fucking suits
all
every day.
damn day.
What's wrong with that?
But that's a uniform. I'm saying, how would that influence style? You can't really have any
That's a whole
fluctuation
nother
of
conversation.
individual style with a suit.
Yes, you can.
How so?
I mean, you can have style in a suit, but it's just
Wait, let me-
that the
let me
cool
ask you.
culture. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say you can change your suit up though. If you're a guy who wears,
When you're a
who's
senator-
professional all the time, you have multiple suits.
When you're a senator,
You can
there's-
freak your suit.
no, a
You
senator.
can't freak your suit.
You're talking about in general. I'm talking about a politician
Uh-huh.
wears charcoal, gray, or blue suits only, and very
So
solid
that's at
color.
work though.
That's where they
Obama,
have the
you
most
see him.
influence.
That's
Well,
what
hold
you
on,
see.
hold on. I hear what you're saying, but when Obama was president, that nigga had a lot of style.
No, the fuck he
He
didn't.
had great.
What? Are you kidding? Open your
The
phone right
nigga
now.
wore
He
suits
just had
every
a
day.
good
How's that
smile.
style?
He just had a good smile.
What?
And he had
How
great,
is a fucking
he had
navy
great
blue
black
suit?
blood.
No, he dressed down sometimes.
What did he do?
He was the first person to wear fucking sweatsuits and shit like that before stuff.
I think I did see
But no, I'm saying that. Listen, a
He
black
did come with
man, a black man
beautiful
in power,
voice or something.
that kind of power. Hold on, black man in that kind of power could influence younger black kids to want to dress like him.
How?
What do you mean?
What does he do that's different than any other politician?
What do rappers do different than any other person?
They wear clothes that are creative in different ways.
They're just
Why can't a politician be
Because
creative?
a politician only wears suits. What can you wear outside of a suit that has influences?
That's at work. All I'm saying, they have lives.
It's not about the item. Look, it's not about the item of clothing. It's about the people. It's about how much influence they have. They have the influence because they're in music. So music is played every day in cars, every day in, at work. So they have more influence on your psyche. So then you start to be more influenced by what they're wearing. If Lil Wayne came with suits on, niggas would be wearing suits in the streets.
Bro, yes. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not denying their influence. I'm not. I'm just saying politicians also have influence.
But not that kind of influence.
Of course, not on the same level. My thing is, let's say I'm a dad, I have 2 kids, and I'm driving them to school in the morning, every morning. I may, on certain days, let them listen to music that they want to listen to on the way to school. On other days, I may throw on MSNBC and make them fucking listen to the nightly news report from the day before. And just get that shit embedded in their brain that there's other stuff in the world that you can be other than a rapper or a fucking basketball player.
But that's not going to influence their fucking fashion styles.
It could.
You just don't look.
It's highly unlikely.
It's unlikely.
No kids want to dress like people they want to be.
For all kids. But that's what I'm saying. What if your kid wants to be a politician?
I feel that. That is true. That's a good point.
Then he's going to dress like a politician that looks like every other fucking politician.
That's fine. I'm just saying the possibility is there. I'm not saying it's likely. It's not likely. Well, kids like to follow their favorite entertainers. I'm just saying I would love to rear up a kid who is like, you know what? Even though I'm good at all this other stuff, I can also be good at this stuff. I like debate. Fucking Obama.
We're talking about 2 completely different things.
No, we're not.
I mean,
you're talking about steering your kid in a world
different way.
I'm talking about just fashion. We're talking about people who influence style.
And I'm saying there's some weird little kids out there who would be like, Mom, you know what? I want to fucking dress like
Obama.
You
would be a fucking weirdo and dressed in suits.
I'm just saying it's not weird for that kid to do that.
Yeah, the kid's a fucking nerd. Get the fuck out of my classroom, bro. Get the fuck out of here, fucking dork.
Oh my god.
Some fucking Tim's on you. Fucking weed, bro.
Paul's like, I hope you get bullied, you little bitch.
I mean,
we were fucking milk money stole.
We were kind of talking like
out of here, yo. Nigga in a suit in elementary school.
That's some creep. That's some low key creep shit. That goes he's a creep, but he's not that any friends.
The kid president wears.
Kids are not going to get that. You said what?
The kid president? You never seen
and that kid got no hopes ever.
Don't. You want to have a shot?
Yeah, man. I'm mad. That's for a shot.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here.
Your kid about to be fucking.
Just stop.
Don't have him.
Don't you wish anything on my kids?
No, I'm saying I'm sure he's gonna be very well read. I'm sure he's gonna have
well read,
a high skin fade. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that funny?
A high skin fade,
and he's gonna be fucking benching 350 at the age of 12.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my, that is not healthy.
Phone gonna be dry as shit.
Phone gonna be dry.
DM's empty.
You gonna be a high school fucking all little private school bitches. Don't do that.
All right.
And he go to Loyola.
He fucking jerking off the pictures of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Which is fine. Bad shit.
I mean, bad is a strong word. I mean, that's a strong word.
You just have so much hate for her. Let's not go down this wormhole.
No.
This rabbit hole. Let's not.
I want to be honest about the way I
because
feel.
Paul hates AOC.
I think she's
You know who AOC is?
She's a recently elected congresswoman who made history by being the first,
Don't say that.
she's the first Latina to be elected.
I know what you're talking about. What do you want to do? You went to. Is this a work? AOC.
No, that's just a upside down V, bro.
No, it's an AOC.
It's an upside down V, bro.
AOC's she's a very popular on Twitter newly elected congresswoman. She's kind of young. She's kind of pretty. She has a lot of back and forth. She has a lot of like public back and forth with Republican talking heads and other congressmen on the other side of the aisle because she's very like vocal about being a fucking super left winger. Like she wanted to like a 70% marginal tax rate.
She's a Democratic socialist.
Or more every year. She's a liberal Democratic socialist, yes. And she wants all these outrageous tax hikes that are got people up in arms.
Wait, Paul, I want to ask you a question.
That's the whole thing.
Because we had a conversation about the marginal tax rate a while ago, right? I did some research on it. Apparently, in the 50s, we had a 90% marginal tax rate. And we had a booming middle class. How's that possible?
Well, the booming middle class and the marginal tax rate had no effect. The booming middle class was because the Industrial Revolution and the war has spurred outrageous economic growth. And it just so happened that they had a marginal tax rate of
90%.
But that doesn't mean that the economy may have done even better if they had a lower rate. You never know. And you got to think, the frame of reference is completely different because the scales are different. The amount that was being taxed at 90% relative to scale when you talk about inflation was much higher than what people are making now.
Okay, so what about not the 70s. I think it was the late 80s. Who was the fuck? We may have to research it, but the 80s president, under our 80s president, there was a 70%. Yeah, you may have to fact check it, but it was at 70%, I believe, in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying this hasn't happened before, but what I'm saying is...
You don't think it'll work now?
Well, here's the thing. We don't need to generate more tax revenue. We need to eliminate more government and lower the fucking bill rather than charge more.
The deficit?
Well, we just need to cut some. We need to cut some of these federal programs. I think we're just bleeding money, and I think a lot of it has to do with certain entitlements. I think.
Are you?
I think there's a lot of
cutting the military budget.
No, I think the military budget should stay or go higher. But I think a lot more can be cut from a lot of other places.
He said should stay or go higher.
Such as what?
Well, I think a lot of these
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Buy the guns, buy the radars, buy the bombs.
I think
chemical warfare.
Stop it.
No, I think a lot of money's being deployed to a lot of lower level kind of like priority programs at a level that doesn't necessarily require. Like I think some of the administration needs to be like cut from some of these federal programs and the money be deployed into people who can actually get the job done rather than just paying a bunch of fucking nobodies. There's just people sitting around collecting checks in the federal government that need to have their fucking ass put to a fire.
I guarantee they're not doing shit.
You gotta cut some of the fat.
Seeing how much people don't do shit at my job, I don't put it out there, but I know people in government businesses.
And it's like a bunch of months.
Not doing no, it's not. No, I know they ain't doing shit in the buildings. They in there bullshitting, talking to each other, fucking each other.
Oh wait, I was going to talk about the $13 trillion that has gone into black projects over the past 5 years. That's under military spending.
Is it falling? Okay, let's put it down. Let's put it down.
What the hell? Like,
let them do their thing.
No.
I feel safer when we got a fucking strong ass military.
Yeah, but that's different. But
you never know, bro.
But Paul, you know that black projects are different from our military. It's under military spending. They take it from there, but
what
it's different from our military.
Whatever they think they need that money for, I'm sure it's going towards something that's keeping somebody safe that can possibly problem. So
Space Force.
Whatever they're doing, a bunch of bullshit, imperialist acts in the Middle East.
That's cool.
And around the world.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's being done with the money, but I know if we're conquering over there, they can't conquer us.
I feel that as well.
It's not the right thing to say.
As long as they don't let the dollar.
But if things are going to be us versus them, I would prefer to be us.
I'm happy that you prefaced it, though.
What?
The part you just said.
What?
Before you I know it's not popular to say.
Not for sure. Because this is the thing: when you hear military veterans come back and talk about their experiences, a lot of them have this. When you ask these military veterans, I've heard it a lot. I watched a lot of documentaries and podcasts about some of these Marines, some of these Navy SEALs. They come back and they talk about the evil and the real threat that exists beyond our borders, and they talk about how when people come up to them and say, well, the war is bad and things like that, or we need to lower defense spending because it's unnecessary, they often have this reaction where it's like, the fact that they live in a comfortable and safe enough world and existence to even think like that means we're doing our job. Because they're so far removed from real life danger and threats that our military is doing their job.
Do you think that threat would be there for America if America didn't go there first?
What? Are you kidding me? We have some...
Who was trying to attack us that we didn't already antagonize?
I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is...
in history.
Man, what are you talking about?
We've incited war time and time again. We've incited reaction from countries that cause the other reactions that all of a sudden lead into war.
Now give me.
But what does that have to do with anything we're talking about?
I thought this was. I'm just saying what government spending towards the military. Where he's saying like people don't like they, even though they feel like we shouldn't have went to the war. The how the soldiers saying like y'all don't know the threat. Well, the threat is there because of what? Because of these chain of events that led to us being there in the first place. That they even sent you over there to get the threat.
The war.
Well, but that's hold on. The threat exists because by us establishing ourselves as the superpower, it took military might. And once you get to that point, you've created such tenuous relationships across the world that technically it starts from back then. You know what I'm saying? Correct. And it's just back and forth. Because if we never would have established that point, we wouldn't be living as comfortable. So it's like a kind of a give and take. I mean, that's kind of how the world is.
I don't know. Not everywhere.
What you mean?
Czechoslovakia.
Bro, they're a fucking nobody country, nigga.
No, but I'm saying though, they live comfortably. They
don't have.
No, I'm saying they don't have a homeless population at all.
They don't got no rich people either.
They have what? You're right.
That's what I'm saying. You want to live in a world like this, you need rich people to make it happen.
Hold on, but those people rank on some of the happiest people in the world.
That's great. Yes, absolutely. I'm sure they do. But here's what I'm saying. We live in a world where our culture and our mindset is cultivated by what we existed. That being said, the only way that can maintain itself is if we maintain our foot on our necks in other countries on the military level.
I think if we were to take a couple billion, which is minuscule on the military budget, because you spend about $1 trillion a year.
A couple million.
We spend about $1 trillion. Yeah. Not $1 billion, $1 trillion. If we take $2 billion from that and just put that in other places where we may need it, I don't think it would hurt our military. Taking $2 billion doesn't mean you have to take everybody from Syria.
Here's what happens.
You know what I mean? Like
this is the thing.
Trump.
But let me explain to you how these federal agencies think and budget meetings go. When you are,
I know how they work.
Since you have it going on, you have to negotiate a budget with whoever the governing body is above you. Right. That being said, when you budget a certain amount and then the budgeted forecast expenditures come back lower.
Yeah.
Once you establish a lower threshold, it's much harder to get more money in the future because you've already proved you can do your job less. So none of them are ever going to want to take less money.
Yeah.
And the defense budget is not one place that's ever going to negotiate for. It's going to stay the same and go higher unless there's a completely radical shift in global events.
It's just weird to me that like we put so much money into that because like it's not. I say this I've said it a lot today. The cut and dry thing, like the whole Space Force thing, that's actually military money.
So what?
That's a ridiculous. That makes no sense.
What doesn't make sense?
Space Force. It doesn't make sense.
Look, why do you think
we don't need it?
What the fuck are you saying?
Hold on.
Hold on.
We don't need Space Force.
We
have NASA and NORAD.
Bro, listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
If they feel like it's necessary to spend that much money on a Space Force,
I don't need it. No.
Listen, stop talking and let me talk.
Go ahead.
I'm about to tell you
why
they need it and why you can't be the one to tell them they don't need it.
Go ahead.
If they're going to spend that much money on those types of projects, wouldn't it surmise an idea that maybe they know something that you don't know?
It's possible.
That's probable. If they're not just coming up with wild ideas out the blue, that had to be planned for years in advance. That being said, the reason they feel like it's enough money, that it's enough importance to throw that much money at it, is because they know something that the general public doesn't.
So do you think that Space Force, because I was under the assumption that Space Force was an original idea from Trump. Are you saying that it's not?
Why would you think that he would come up with something like that out of the blue?
Because the name is terrible.
But this is the thing. He may have but no.
Seems like a fucking dumbass Trump idea.
It feels like Power Rangers.
SpaceX.
Fucking nerd.
Tremendous
fucking
ass.
It's gonna be a huge X. It's gonna be a big, huge X.
We're gonna have the best X the best spaceships.
The best spaceships.
No, the country's gonna have a bigger X.
No,
but this is the thing. He may have come up with the name,
right?
But the actual operations going into it, something that started years
before.
It had to.
Okay.
So nothing makes it from space fucking military to the public knowledge until
Bro, look,
Can I say the fact though? NASA does not do the majority of the space work in the United States. It's NORAD. I want people to know that. I want people to know that.
Can I also put out there that...
Oh, I thought you were saying that to like...
No, I was just saying, it's a fact that most people don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I
want
also
people
put
to
out
know
there
that.
that the number one standing... This is listed on Google. The number one standing threat to the United States government is an alien invasion.
What?
It's on the website.
How did they determine that?
It's on the website. That's
How
all I
did
got
they
to
determine?
You gotta ask them.
What do you mean?
I didn't do
They
it.
study. There's people who
I didn't
study
fucking
this
do
shit.
it.
I know. I'm just saying. I've always been interested in it. which
They
is
know
why
something.
I'm not
They
saying
ain't
they don't.
propagating it.
I'm not saying they don't. So every year in the United Kingdom, they have a conference. Every single year, you can look it up on YouTube. I watch it every year. There's a UFO disclosure conference every year. It lasts a whole weekend, and every year our government sends people to be on the panel to listen to the scientists that bring that stuff forward.
They
I
got
watch.
who people?
Huh?
You said who they have?
They have scientists and people that used to be under like the Royal Air Force or something. People that come forth with their evidence that there is a interstellar threat. And the last one I watched, there was a scientist, his name is David Alan Greer, and he basically wrote up this whole thing that he had been trying.
No, there is a comedian. It's a comedian.
Yeah, I was saying.
His face forced up immediately because I heard you say that before, so I remember like, oh yeah, it was somebody whose name was David Allen Greer too.
Right.
Yeah, but he was a comedian too.
Honestly, I think I may have gotten it wrong. His last name's Greer, I'm sorry. Doctor, fucking look him up. David Allen Greer was in Blank Man, which is a great movie.
No, you talking about Robert Townsend, bro.
No.
That's Meteor Man.
Meteor Man was Robert
Yeah,
Townsend.
yeah. Which is a great movie.
That was a great movie too.
Fucking love shit like that.
First Space
Five
Force, right?
hard
First Space Force. But
Shout out to Robert Townsend.
yeah, but anyway, they have this conference every year, and
Y'all gonna be Blank Man for Halloween next year, bro. I just thought of that
Stop.
shit.
Stop.
Yo, that shit gonna be tough.
Stop.
Get the little forks on the glasses.
stop it.
That kind of fly.
You get
They need to remake Blank Man,
Oh,
bro.
wait a minute. I forgot to tell y'all this. Okay,
So this is Blank Man?
Hold on, I have a story.
Oh.
I have a story for the podcast. A couple
Boom.
days ago,
Exclusive.
Season
Season 2 premiere.
let me talk.
Do with a podcast.
Fuck it.
Do me for real. Go ahead.
A couple days ago, I was in a supermarket, a grocery store, rather, in Eldersburg. I'm walking up the aisle, I'm looking for, like, rice that you can fucking boil easily in the fucking microwave. And I get hit in the back, and I turn around, there's a 7-foot-tall robot behind me.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not making this up.
Yo was about to get raped by a robot,
No,
bro.
listen, I'm not making this up.
You
Listen,
want
right
zero
side, bro.
problems. You want zero problems.
I told no one. Listen, I told no one about this. There was a robot.
You
that,
you was scared of
listen,
a robot.
Listen, hell yeah, I was. Dude, 7 feet tall. What
You was a bitch.
you mean? Damn right.
It was a robot?
It was, bro. I kid you not. Look, it had eyes. It talked, and it sounded like the shit almost wasn't programmed for it to say. Like it literally was like it bumped into me, and it said, "Excuse me." And I turned around. And it's just a tall, 7 foot tall.
What's it look like? You didn't take a picture of this motherfucker?
I should have. I should take a
fuck?
fucking picture.
I would have had a camera.
But it
right
had
in
a
his face.
name. So like when it bumped into me, it said, "Excuse me." It said, "My name is whatever the fuck it was." And I'm just looking at it, and there's like a couple white people at
Just
the end
said,
of the
"Fuck you,
aisle.
robot man."
There's a couple white people at the end of the aisle just looking at me interacting with the thing. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, what is
Nobody
this?
else like in awe of that.
No, they weren't. They were
It
just.
might have just been like a Nigerian dude with a fitted on.
Oh my god.
It might have just been like a tall African, you know?
Oh my god. No,
I think
Paul.
that is most definitely racist.
Jesus, it's
Nah,
not
bro,
racist.
because you hit a name and you don't quite get it. It's a lot of fucking consonants, no vowels, bro. It's like,
No.
you never know.
We do not support
Listen,
that message.
look.
We would podcast. We support.
Look, y'all, listen,
Shiny,
you're
so
gonna
it's
see it.
like
Hold
a
on.
metallic
No,
a little bit.
no.
Hold on.
There's a
Look.
metallic vibe to their
Purple
skin.
robot
That's
is a
what I'm
purple robot.
Let me just say this.
Vibranium, bro.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Vibranium's not.
That was the name of that supermarket was Martin's. That's not nowhere near as big as Giant.
Where's
Giant.
Giant?
I was in Eldersburg.
Oh, it's Martin.
I love Martin.
I was just thinking, like, where's the Martins at?
Right.
It's like a
And look, it's right by the bakery.
That's the bakery. You know.
Right,
Martin's.
Right, yeah.
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 So Giant's probably going to have them soon, which means more people are probably going to see them. This fucking robot moves like it's not even slow.
What does it do?
I don't know. I don't know what it does.
Can you
but
trip it?
No, it's too big. I'm telling you. Look, it's about 7 feet
I
tall.
want to go there and see it.
Bro, hold on, listen to me. Look. So look. Hold on, wait. So it bumped into me, right? And I was just fucking like, imagine if you've never seen it before. You bump into my fucking robot self talking to you. So look,
I done ran, nigga.
look. Hold on, wait. So look, I turn around and I'm like analyzing everything immediately. I'm like, is this a threat? Like, do I fight it? Like, what the fuck is going on? But it was 2 white people at the end of the aisle looking at me, interacting with it. Like, oh, this is the first time a nigga saw a fucking robot. And I'm like,
this ain't your first time.
Look,
Oh my
so
God,
look,
y'all want to see this shit?
Look, I bend down, grab the rice while I'm looking at it. I don't know what's happening. I'm
You're
like,
about to get out of here.
Wait a minute.
and I grab it, look, and I start slowly walking back like, I see you, bitch. So,
oh my God, bro.
So here's the thing. Look, while after that happened, I'm like trying to process it. I'm like, is that a fucking robot? Like, why is he talking to me?
Telling
And
you, bro.
then I go on the other side where the cold food is. I walk down the aisle. This motherfucker is turning the corner, looking at me.
Oh,
So
that's
look.
like a fucking like
So here's the thing.
scary movie, like
Yes.
Candyman.
So here's the
kind of
thing.
shit.
Nina lives in Eldersburg, right? So I called her. I'm like, I think I just saw a robot in your supermarket. And she was like, oh yeah, it follows people that it thinks is going to steal shit. I swear to God.
Stop.
Yo,
No,
I was
lying,
like,
yo. You are lying.
no, I'm not lying.
The bitch is 7 feet tall.
Bro.
Boy, you about to get
Stop
your ass
playing with
stomped
me,
out.
yo.
I was like, Nina, I said,
Yo,
you
was
think-
like, deal with your little ass.
I
in
said,
there,
yeah,
boy.
right, I'd fuck this ass
Oh
up.
my God.
Like, you know how many
Fuck
fucking
you all up
end of the world apocalyptic movies I watch? Nigga, I already know. Take
You
a
gotta
screwdriver,
go to
put it in
market
the
strap
strap.
now.
Fuck
God
it.
damn. You gotta go to market strap.
So,
That's crazy.
Nigga, what?
I was like, Nina, I said, I feel like,
dude.
I said, I feel like it was following me around. She said, oh, it might have been. I said, do you think the robot disproportionately follows around people of darker tints?
No, here's the thing. There's probably a camera in the robot that a person's controlling.
That's fucked up.
So he's following.
Either way, it's
Could
some
be.
bullshit.
How would it just move on its own?
What do you mean?
Some hurry up
Ruben
and buy robot.
was moving around.
But how would it know who to follow?
I don't know.
It's not. Martin's is not fucking that advanced.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why
It's a
I was
person
so.
controlling.
That's why I was so freaked out. I'm
There's
like,
a
this is a
person-
fucking Martins.
There's a person controlling.
What?
I'm
Because
going,
here's the
I
thing.
gotta try this
I
shit.
went there for fucking chicken breast and rice. I'm not trying to get accosted.
Nigga got recently profiled by a robot.
By a
bro.
robot.
Get the fuck out of here.
That is.
I stole the shit out of
funniest
all the principles.
shit
At that
I
point.
have heard. Yo.
But I would be honest though. Like
Wow.
after she told me that, I'm like, damn. Well, what if I like knew that and tried to test it, and then like a fucking flamethrower that shoots out that bitch?
Oh.
And
Nigga,
fucking
that shit blow your whole leg off.
Right.
Yo, the mark.
hit me with a fucking mortar.
Nigga,
Oh
what?
my God,
Some
yo.
fucking Call of Duty kills you.
Y'all should go out there and see it.
I'm definitely going out
She
there.
said it's new. She said it's only been there for like
Nah, bro, I ain't about to get my ass whipped in a frozen food section. Bro. That shit was
Bro,
embarrassing.
they just gotta put the recording
Nigga,
on
what?
there, yo. They gotta put the recording.
Bro,
Nigga, because you know it's 2 more around the corner. They come through and jump your ass, bro.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
They gotta have it.
But it's not slow.
Nigga.
Listen, hold on. But I think you guys,
Yeah.
hold on. I think you have this impression in your head
Yeah.
that it's like. I think you have this
Right.
impression that it's like slow. It's not slow.
I ain't saying
The thing
That bitch was
moves.
walking
You're
loud. It's
bro,
like,
it was
hey,
like
hey,
rolling.
hey.
How'd it look?
So it was like gliding. It wasn't rolling because like the bottom, you can't knock it over because the bottom's like this
I
wide.
can't believe
But like,
this
what's the shape of it?
It's like all right. So the bottom, it's just like it's just like a round thing, but
Roll
it's
your
wide
ass
as
over.
fuck. So like, and then it like kind of curves up. It looks like a dick.
Oh, bro, they was about to fucking.
Yo.
Yeah.
Man,
But it's
bro,
like-
about
but
to
it's
get
like-
violated.
But it's like
Game,
but it's like a body though. It's like a body, and it like fucking. It's about
Like an
7 feet
Oscar?
tall.
Shout
But
out to the
I'm-
Academy
bro.
Awards.
Cause listen. The eyes are up here. So when I say 7 feet tall, like I really felt like it was 7 feet tall because I'm looking at it like this. I'm like,
Nigga, I poured all the apple juice and shit with a green. And
like
I
I was
was
trying to get my rights, bitch. Like, why is you following me right
He
now?
would have rolled shit up and boof.
Nigga, they was,
Yeah.
fucking roll it down. Yo, Yo, you remember that fucking show where the little robots that were remote controlled that be trying to destroy each other?
Yeah,
Battle
bots.
Nigga, you might get battle bot smack, nigga.
Oh,
big ass lever come out top, bang!
Hell
Your
yeah.
shit stop. Yo, what? That should have scooped you, throw you down. You got the little things, dude. It's got the little saw in the ground, roll you over there.
I kind of feel like you should give consent before they just drop a fucking robot in your fucking supermarket.
I'll be back.
But
What's up, world?
I don't like
What's
it.
up, Ron?
But this is the
What's
thing.
up, Brad?
It's probably
What's up, TR?
because the amount of machine learning that would have to go into a machine to know who to follow and have discernment like that, and not get like fucking Martin sued. It would have to have such a high level of technology ability that they're not investing in a fucking
Exactly.
grocery store.
Martin, exactly.
It's just a remote controlled shit.
Right, Martin's can't afford
Somebody's controlling that. From
But the technology exists. We already know that.
but it's not being deployed in Martin.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That's the shit that's in that.
Right. I
Or
didn't say
in
it was.
Amazon.
But, oh shit. Well, I already heard Amazon has robots anyway.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about tech companies who have the fucking resources to invest in machine learning to that capability of which you're talking.
Yeah.
That is like major billion-dollar public shit. Tech companies, not fucking Martins and Elders.
Facebook and Google both have quantum computers. They
Yeah,
both,
for sure.
and they've had them for
Microsoft,
3 years.
Apple, they all on it.
I don't know if Microsoft has one yet though.
Oh, for sure.
You think so?
They've talked about quantum computers and like 5G and all this is coming. This is very soon.
Yeah. I don't only talk about the ones I've seen. I've seen.
Well, yeah, it's been talked about in those.
Oh.
Because they've all been in development for years. That's the next big frontier.
Right.
Once the next thing comes, you realize every company comes out with their own version of that, like right after that. Like when the voice came out, Amazon Echo, Google Home, Facebook trying to get the dumbass little Windows looking thing in there. So it's like they all are working on it at the same time and they all just drop it at the same time.
Imagine trying to explain quantum computing to just anyone. Imagine everything you, because it's not. So for instance, you were saying that thing about the twin thing earlier, right? Like how like one twin, something happens in one twin, the other one feels it.
Earlier,
You were talking about that? I wasn't saying that.
No, you definitely said that.
Not today.
Well,
I said
anyway.
that though. Like in life.
You were listening to that. I was listening to that thing they were talking about. They were talking about twins on that podcast.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway,
I'm pretty sure that he said that, bro.
maybe I'm listening. I don't know. I'm not listening.
I don't know. That is a real thing because
So
I
what I'm
heard
saying
saying
is-
said the same thing.
That has been scientifically proven, though. That's not even like a thing anymore.
Yeah.
That's called quantum entanglement, which is the thing that goes into quantum computing, which makes it so fucking instantaneous. Like, imagine never having to like wait for anything to load ever.
You doing 5G?
Well,
no,
yeah.
well,
That's fine.
right.
That's the next
Which
step.
is made possible because of quantum computing.
Yeah, yeah.
But imagine just never having to wait ever. You just
That's
you don't
what
have to
they're
wait.
moving towards.
Everything's instantaneous.
Well, what that's going to
Be
do,
like now.
so
That's
what that's going to do is really allow these AR and VR companies to really expand that life. Because here's the thing: the ideas of the future that we have in our mind about what we're going to be able to do. The reason they can't do it is because things like 5G and quantum computing hasn't been mastered yet. But once that backbone and like a blockchain and these things get mastered around the same time, the level of product that gets offered to the public is going to vastly change our existence. Like think about 10 years ago in 2007, the level of live streaming and 4G technology was nowhere on our fucking scale of like what could be possible. So in another 10 years, this is going to like increase exponentially.
Oh man. I mean, next 10 years, next 5 years, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
Well,
don't
for
know
sure.
what the fuck. Like, it's moving so fast. Like, they got the Alexa shit now, where it's got the screen on there, so you can just tell her to pull something up on the screen.
But
Like, you know what I'm saying? They got the thing where you can just say, like, oh, what's the news for today? And they'll pull up, like, the news channel on their fucking, on the little screen.
Sure,
and
I do
tell
that
whatever
now.
you
Well,
want.
look,
here, you want to hear my prediction for what the future's going to be? So I think the first layer of augmented reality, right? I think it's going to be a version of contact lens that you'll say, like, say it's an Amazon release. You put this contact lenses in, you just walk like, oh, Alexa, what's the weather? And it pops up in your field of vision, but it doesn't exist physically in the world. You're seeing it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a HUD display. Like if you're playing a video game.
That's like,
You can have like certain like health
that Black
stats.
Mirror shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I
I
think
know.
is going to be the next version of what can
Black
be done.
Well, that would
with
be the
quantum
second.
computing.
That'd be the second version of augmented reality because we already have augmented stuff. We already do.
Well, no, so I'm talking about the version that the first thing
Where you're actually doing the touching.
I'm talking about when you start having quantum computing and blockchain and things of that nature start really showing up in the mainstream. That's going to be the first thing that revolutionizes our way of existence. Because the thing is, when you talk about 2007 to now, there are certain things that came about that didn't exist that have become commonplace with everyone.
Yeah.
That are just normal now. Yeah. So I think the first thing that just becomes normalized with that new level of technology, I think it's going to be stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where we can just control shit that's not even like in our hands.
Yeah, you're talking about the next level, which is like if you're the user of whatever app is going on, like you see it, like you almost feel like you're touching it. But IKEA already has augmented reality.
We're right, yeah. What I'm talking about is augmented reality that will be possible with quantum computing.
Right.
Once we get the ability to have 5G videos available to us as 4G and things like that, and the blockchain and what that all allows us to do, we're basically going to become a hybrid organism between technology and biology.
That's one of my favorite books.
I think we're going to become one with like machines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's happening absolutely right now. I mean, we're emojis now. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole fucking excuse me, but
no, go ahead.
The Black Mirror episode when with the second episode with the dude from Get Out.
Yeah.
And like the person was in the little cell, but they were like projected through an emoji in the actual world, basically. Like we're damn near getting to like they're conditioning us to get to a point where you could be an emoji and be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already making a big emoji out of your likeness. You know, 2K is your face, all that kind of shit. Like you know, you gotta get into your phone with your face. I didn't do that shit. I'm not doing that shit. I got the max now. I ain't putting that face. I know it's probably easier as shit, but I just do not. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
I get mad when I gotta type my code in. I'm like,
I'm just
I
like,
get mad as shit.
My code right now, just in this first week of having it, my code quick as a bitch right now.
Is it 5 or 6 zeros like Kanye?
What's he got? Like
five. He's got like 6 zeros. He's fucking.
I think it's
mine is that. Well, mine is 5.
I remember you telling me that.
Point taken. I just want to know that. Just,
Okay.
Is that your credit card now? Leave it alone.
What's the number for this?
Save it for later. Off air.
Sorry.
The crazy thing, that's my
Any girls
my social security is 95.
Any girl that knows Paul's know
what? My social security number is
that's a lie.
555.
Shut up, Paul. That's a lie.
Fuck up.
That'd be hard though. That'd be hard though, bro. If my shit was all 5,
hey, you might have changed
Jason Bourne.
You might have choose a Google number and fucking get that. That might be hard.
Nigga, that shit would be hard, bro. All fucking one number for your social. That shit would be impossible. They wouldn't do that to you because it would be too easy to guess. But I'm just saying,
no, phone number maybe, but not no fucking social. That ain't gonna work.
Wait, I wanted to talk about another thing. How you feel about that rapper? Why, whatever the fuck, Melly getting hemmed up for them 2 murders?
Well, I think
I didn't even really look into that.
So this young rapper from Florida, right? He blew up.
I seen him.
He blew up with a song called "Murder on My Mind," and he got recently charged with the murder of 2 of his friends. And a lot of the lyrics are eerily close to narrating double homicide. So people are looking at him weird, even though the song came out before the murder. But this is the thing: he also is he has connections to another murder recently. Did you just hear about this?
No.
He's now a suspect in the murder of a Florida policeman.
Damn!
Yeah, so he was out there catching bodies.
Yo, this thing is crazy.
This thing was out there catching bodies. But look, here's the thing. Did you read the story? So apparently, there's a theory that has.
Please,
Oh, I got
you.
Oh, you got shots.
Wait,
so,
you need one?
No, I got one. So he had an interview with, I can't remember the publication. Maybe it was Genius. Maybe it was like Vice, but I don't remember who. It was MTV, but he was talking about how he has alter ego called Melvin, and he was He was talking almost like kind of jokingly about it, kind of like but this is the thing. He was talking about basically his split personality because they were asking him. He has a song with Kanye called "Split Personality," and he was talking about how I think I have split personalities. I have me, I'm Melly, but then there's Melvin, and Melvin comes out at night. He's saying Melvin is like violent. Melvin's like me. So when you hear him say all these things, he said another thing similar to that, and another thing, and then he had this murder, and he was talking about how this wasn't me and things like that. What people are theorizing is that he could suffer from dissociative personality disorder, also known as split personality disorder, where people have complete dissociative experiences where they be like, that wasn't me, that was Sandra, or that was fucking Melvin. You know what I'm saying? Where that person isn't them, but their mind is split in two, where when they come back to their normal self, they could have killed somebody as that other person, but their mind is so warped that they don't believe it was them.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, it's like a thing where that person does radical different things where it's like, whoa, I wouldn't have done that. That had to be someone else.
Right.
And it's really like completely different. And I think, you know what I'm saying, it's often found in people who experience like really, really traumatic childhoods because it's a defense mechanism that turns into a psychological disorder where at a childhood, your coping mechanism with extreme trauma was to go to a separate place in your mind, maybe even create a separate personality that you felt like you could escape from. And so when that multiplies, you become a dissociative personality disorder victim. But that's a real thing that happens to people. It's rare, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And he could possibly have that as a defense if they can prove it.
Right.
If he murdered allegedly.
That's harder
They're not
to
going
do
to try
now.
to give. Oh, they ain't going to try to give him.
Well, I mean, that's harder to do now.
insanity.
It's a lot harder to do, but it could very well be.
It shouldn't be because we know how much mental illness is out here right now.
No, but
Well,
a lot
no,
of
it
guys,
should be-
a lot-
it
it
should
should
be
be
harder.
harder. It should be harder.
You got to hold him responsible, but if he really does have a psychological disorder, he should be arrested, but in a psychological facility.
Right, but he should also
It's
be
gonna
kept
be
away
hard
from
for a
everybody
For
else.
sure,
It should
because
be
no
the
one's come out
same.
to play and murk everybody.
Exactly.
Niggas out there catching bodies. No one got 2 bodies. 3. But belly cool. But yeah, he was talking about that shit like it was real, but he was also kind of laughing, so it seemed like he was making a joke.
And cool.
But you know how certain rappers are like, oh, T.I. versus T.I.B. Sean Carter is the new Hove, Jay-Z is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, they play around with split personalities on like an alter ego level, entertainment level.
Yeah.
But he was talking about it. He was talking about it in a more realistic sense, not an artistic sense.
When he was talking about Melvin, he got like kind of serious. Like you
Right.
can see his
There was
whole
an
facial
eerie, there was an
expression.
eerie tone
Right,
to the way he talked about it.
His face changed.
Yeah, and this is the thing. He is
It's a little bit.
he's
I'm about to take my shirt off in the live anyway.
That's gonna help you. It'll go viral.
well,
What you
you
talking
know,
about?
it would make me feel
I'm going to feel uncomfortable as well. Everybody in the room is going to feel
I didn't take my
uncomfortable.
pants off.
but see, it's a slippery slope. Where does it stop?
It was leg day. It was leg day, baby. I'm trying to
roll the legs up, man.
leg day.
You know what? Let me show you my latest pose. He takes out his fucking pants. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But no, here's the thing. I do think he
Very well.
He's bodybuilding.
no, hey,
He just hates seeing your legs and thighs.
bro. I be on Instagram laughing at memes. I scroll. Oh, the naked dude. Oh God, what the fuck?
Freeze naked again. God
Jesus
damn it.
Christ! No warning. They gotta have a sensitive content.
And I'm like this.
filter.
Look.
I'm like, whoa,
Double tapping.
oh, hey,
I'm still
sticking
straight.
behind me, bro.
I'm still straight if I like it.
I was like, this is my brother. I can
Like, yo, it's the people
they
behind me,
understand.
bro.
They
You
understand.
cover
I'm
your
at
dick,
work
though?
right now.
Just cover your dick. That's all I ask.
Work.
Alright, this is a dick pic. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I
Put an
can't.
emoji over there.
I can't
Put
do
a
that.
fucking Instagram, bro.
I can't double tap. I can't
Fucking filter over that shit, bro.
Stop it. Stop
A
it.
little vignette.
Yeah, like, sepia, bro.
It's a vignette, bitch.
Vignette.
Yeah, Vignette. He said Vignette.
Good old vignette.
Nigga, nah, yours is Vignette.
A little surface. What is that? Structure. A little structure.
A little sepia.
A little structure on there.
Make it transparent.
The 1977. Remember the 1977?
Yeah, yeah. Sepia.
Yo, now they had the one up called 1977.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro, you need a couple filters.
Wait, what we talking
All right, we got to reel it in.
But no, so we was talking about
Oh, Melly.
Melly and
He's going down for that.
So I think he's gonna end up doing some jail time because they called him up on some other shit with the cop. They got the double homie, and he's a convicted felon from something that happened a while ago. So he doing time.
He
Yeah,
gone.
Wait, I have a question.
And
If
6ix9ine is out. Just
I was gonna say, if you, it's crazy you said that. If you were 6ix9ine, would you snitch?
Well, he has no choice.
I
But-
tell him, all y'all niggas in the room.
But see, this is the
I'm
thing.
playing.
You a
I'm playing.
terrible-
Look, I don't.
I knew it.
God.
You know I wouldn't do that. Like I've been tried and tested, unfortunately. So
Yo, niggas said, niggas. It was a meme. It was like, I sent it to the group. It was talking about how 6ix9ine snitched, and he was the one that got Jussie Smollett locked up. He snitched on Robert. He snitched on Robert Kraft.
got justice.
He said, "Have y'all ever heard of Robert Kraft?"
He snitched on Jordan Woods.
He snitched on Robert Kraft.
He snitched on Robert Kraft.
Because
like
the meme in the suit like this. Have y'all ever heard of Robert Kraft?
Niggas in there singing, bro. It's like, yo, you bring me another Sprite, and I'll tell you all about.
So here's my thing.
That ultimate feast.
Here's my thing. If I was in 6ix9ine's position, and they were threatening to lock up my best friends, who I know would have never double crossed me, who always had my back, obviously I wouldn't snitch. However, I think the situation is most of these people that he's snitching on really had it out for him anyway.
Yeah. He gotta get his mother out of there though. He still got his peoples out here somewhere. That's the whole thing. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
He in New York.
He shouldn't snitch because he was operating in a lifestyle where if you're going to participate in this lifestyle,
you gotta take the consequences.
You gotta take it. Yeah, that's the code that they expect to listen. And he knowingly entered into that lifestyle, knowing the consequences. That being said, should he snitch? It's always going to be no.
So here's the thing. I would say yes, if he had not ordered that hit on Chief Keef.
What do you mean?
Had he not done that,
then
I would disagree with you. I agree with you. I'm saying, had he not done that, I wouldn't.
Then he was fully.
Well, even if he didn't do that, why would that?
Why would I snitch? Had he?
No, I'm saying you said should he?
Yeah, I'm saying okay. Let's say he didn't order that hit on Chief Keef, then he should definitely snitch.
Why?
Because if I'm in his shoes, because that's the question I posed to you guys. If I'm in his shoes, I'm fucking snitching on these niggas to try and get me killed. 100%.
But I'm saying, what does the hit on Chief Keef have to do with him?
Oh, I'm just saying he's a piece of shit for doing it.
For telling him?
But I'm saying,
for trying to get Chief Keef killed.
What changes about him being...
Nothing changes in him. I'm just saying. I think had he not done that, I wouldn't view him as a person that is a decent person. Honestly, whatever happens to him, I'm all for it. Because he ordered somebody to kill somebody else. You know what I mean?
But if he didn't do that, you're saying he should have snitched then?
He shouldn't have snitched. No, he's saying he was involved. He was.
So I'm saying, what is changing about his snitching or not, based on the Steve?
No, I'm saying if I were in his position and I knew that I didn't do anything to get someone killed, yes, of course I would snitch. However, if I was 6ix9ine and I paid somebody to kill somebody else, then I probably deserve whatever the fuck I'm getting. 100%.
I mean, look, hey, you still might not want to take that hit, regardless. You know what I'm saying? But still, I feel like, I mean, if you putting yourself in, like, he was there when they was, like, hitting licks. You know what I'm saying? They shot at somebody who was, like, trying to cross the set or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was there for some work getting put
allegedly, y'all, this is alleged.
Alleged, but he was he put this in writing. So regardless, it's alleged. But
regardless, if you knowingly associate with people who what you know what's going on, you basically might as well be doing it too.
Absolutely.
Because in the eyes of law, it don't matter.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you there,
it don't matter if you did any of that shit. If you are aligned and associated with that, they see you as an active participant. Especially in
he shouldn't have snitched straight up. He definitely shouldn't have snitched.
Well, he snitched because he's not from that.
Right.
He's not like that.
That's what I'm saying.
And none of us, I mean, we're not in his situation, so we can't judge him to the most extent. But all we can say is
it's different because
he did put himself on the pedestal and on this stage as such.
Here's the thing: if I were to snitch, it would be on people I don't give a fuck about. If you guys were facing a lot of time and it was predicated on my answer, I wouldn't snitch because I care about it.
But you're talking from the perspective of a law-abiding citizen.
Yes.
What I'm talking about in the world he lives in,
You supposed to
when
take
he
that.
snitches on these people, he is not.
You're
like,
a dead man. You're a fucking dead man.
He's not like you got to think about.
Oh, we know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
He's not
If he
supposed to do that.
snitches and is in public very soon, if he doesn't, he's not going to last very long.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you have to pick your poison because whatever he picks is going to be tough for him.
Well, I think he has a much better chance of living in jail.
In jail?
100%.
Who?
Really?
100%.
It depends on how much money he got. He got
6'9"?
saved up.
What you talking about?
Who's talking now?
He's not going to get released.
Huh?
Who's talking?
He's supposed to get released.
No, we don't. That's not.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I said he is.
Paul's talking about.
I'm talking about he's getting released because he snitched.
Paul's
I
talking
say
about
if
what's his better.
he has a better chance of surviving.
Oh, if he's
Because look, you talk about if you snitch, like you're not living a gangster life. You don't have ties, so ain't nobody coming to kill you.
Exactly.
So you just gonna go about your life like a fucking regular law-abiding citizen. The amount of beef that he started and the amount of enemies that he made within his own set and outside. If he snitches and comes home, he is not going to last very long.
But that's what I'm saying. They were already trying to kill him before all this happened. There's a very good chance he doesn't snitch, does his time, and still gets fucked up. They already wanted him dead before all this shit happened.
But that's less.
If
That's less of a risk
strong,
than if he came home right now.
If he stood firm
So,
and didn't say nothing,
I would-
they wouldn't try to go after him.
Wait,
Huh?
say again?
If
Say
he
again?
stood strong and didn't snitch, they might not have went after
Bro,
him.
they already wanted him dead before all this happened.
Well,
That's what I'm saying,
no.
but now after
The
that,
reason-
that's putting them work risk.
But this is the thing. The reason they wanted him dead was because he was
The money
about to
situation.
get picked up.
Is that why?
They knew the feds was up. They knew that he was about to get picked up, and he could not stand, and he was going to snitch. That's why they tried to kill him.
Oh, because they
Because they knew the case.
They assumed he was.
That's why he went on Breakfast Club 3 days before. Was talking about the feds.
Yo,
like that was a known thing.
that was crazy.
So they were like, "Yo, this nigga's about to get got, and he's
Right.
going to sing. Let's
Yeah.
kill him." That's why that happened. So this is the thing. The reason for killing him was way before.
Should I do it?
What you gonna do?
No, don't make it weird.
Don't.
I don't think that's really the vibe right now, bro. I don't know if I'm really fucking feeling this right now.
This is hilarious. Go
Let's,
ahead. Go ahead. Fuck it.
Yo, come on,
Go
man.
ahead doing that, man. Fuck it.
Help!
It's
I
fucking-
don't.
Help!
Do your thing.
I don't know if this is going to get us
Do
views.
it over there.
You don't think that'll work? You don't think it'll work?
I think it'll get some views out
Alright.
of it.
I
Fuck it.
think
This is the be what it's the be for real podcast.
I think we might. I
Man,
think
be
you
yourself.
blunt, bro. I don't think you
Be your fucking self, everybody.
You ain't hit that blunt. Just settle down a little bit.
Let me do a thing, Paul. Tell me something down.
I'm talking about like you about to rip your shirt off on TV. Somebody get on the line and feel like, why did they got no shirt on there?
Yeah, that might
I'm
not
making a little
be
chew on brand right now.
just there's
You
no,
on brand.
there's no
You can sit around with no shirt on talking about politics.
There's
Like
no
that.
context to it. It's definitely gonna be weird.
Whoa, that is, yeah.
You guys won't let me live my life.
Well, here's the thing.
I want you to live your best life,
I
bro.
think,
Live your best life, bro.
You're a lot.
no, I
Live your
think,
best life, bro. Live your best life, bro.
I think 6'9", I don't think it's gonna last.
I don't think it's gonna last whatever happens.
I hope he had some kind of money stashed where he got him up out of the hood.
Well, I'm not.
God damn, bro.
Yeah, you know,
The nigga live in New York and he got these niggas in New York fucking, he snitching and shit. Everybody know it.
man, fuck that nigga.
You're crazy.
He's a fucking clown.
Girl, his mother out here crazy. But yeah,
Yeah, I
y'all.
think he's a fucking clown, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I hope everything go good with that situation, but he definitely made his bed at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, you
He
think
made
about
his
that.
bed. You know, you don't gotta be a tough rapper. He could have just talked tough. He wanted to really have the fucking niggas behind him because he was really doing tough Tony shit.
Well, yeah, he didn't even pop until he got behind.
Yeah, the tough Tony shit. That's what the fuck happened. He's selling the tough Tony, and now he got handle the consequences of being a tough Tony.
Cautionary tale.
That's fucking whatever, though. We're gonna get into this Jussie Smollett. Y'all wanted to talk about Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, yo. So
Let's wait for his ass to get back.
I think he should get charged with hate crime.
For the hate crime?
think so.
What's he gonna get charged for now anyway?
Oh
yeah, just lying to the police.
He made a false report. But I think he should. I don't think he should get anything this year because you got to think about what he did.
What did he do?
He played upon the generational trauma and pain of two different subcultures, gays, blacks. He manipulated their pain for personal. He manipulated the pain of people who have been murdered. He manipulated the pain of families who have young ones slain. We're talking about Jussie Smollett.
Fuck it.
So he manipulated the pain of a whole generation, and it ain't like he just made a fucking false report. He brought a noose into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he brought staged robbery and attempted robbery and assault. Like, he brought in, like, props, bro. Like, it wasn't like he just fucking, like, went to the police and made a claim and didn't do no extracurricular shit. He just, like, completely orchestrated a scene. The levels he went to manipulate the pain of oppressed groups is like fucking egregious, bro. I think he needs to get prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
100%.
I think they need to make an example out of him
100%.
because it's so tricky in today's society. If that doesn't get completely destroyed before it gets too big, he'll have copycats, other people who try to do things like that to get attention. He'll have people who
sounds like a false flag.
Well, no, it sounds like a fucking narcissist who does some dumb shit. But here's the thing: if he would have had, like, say some black people got out here and got super fucking actively violent to try to like make a point because of that, and then some fucking white supremacists started to meet them violent, he could have started a whole race war off some shit that wasn't even true.
Right.
You feel me? So you playing with fire to play with shit like that, and to do it because you fucking mad about your salary or whatever the dumbass reason it was. He's a fuckboy, and I hope he goes to jail.
I heard the theory that Taraji was actually involved.
Oh my
I
god!
don't give a fuck about
so
none
how
of
was
them
she ever
empires.
involved?
I don't know, but
She was in the store getting some.
I'm not a Taraji fan anyway. Why her head so wide? Why the ass head?
God, I
She
mean,
look like
she
Gina.
got
She
the-
like Gina when she
she
was
got
sucking
the-
that fucking bed.
You got the wide head.
She got a wide head.
3/7 fitted.
With the
3/7.
leader battle angel
3/7
anime eyes. Chill, girl, you 50.
Oh man,
Ageism, that's a real thing.
I bust down.
I
I bust
would-
down to Rising.
I would too, I'm just saying.
now I heard that.
You don't hear stuff.
Oh, I definitely heard shit. I heard that.
You had your ear to the ground?
So yes, I guess I had my proverbial ear to the ground. Yes.
You heard it in the grapevine?
Yep.
A little birdie came and told you?
No, not really. It was an article. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, I'm allergic to birds. All right?
What?
Stay away from the birds. I'm married.
Oh, that chicken you eat?
Oh. Just started. I was a pescatarian last year. Thank you very much for 5 whole months. But that's neither here nor there. I heard that right after Jussie Smollett dropped this. That is incredibly.
I was just looking to see.
That is incredibly distracting. Okay, no play, but
I want to see what my head look like.
right, it is enormous.
A whole nother podcast, right?
If we're talking on that subject, like it's gonna be way too long for this podcast at this point. But
Bitch.
right after the Jussie Smollett shit came out, the two Democratic candidates, give me their names, the black ones, the leading
Kamala
ones.
Harris.
Yes,
Cory Booker.
yep, that they started pushing the anti-lynch bill,
What does that mean?
anti-lynching bill.
What does that mean?
You gotta ask them that. They right after it came out, they started automatically pushing. They didn't even look for the validation of the claim. They immediately took it as valid and started pushing this anti-lynching bill that is also valid for homosexuals, for the LGBTQ community is included in this bill, and for minorities as a
What's
whole.
the actual bill though?
I haven't actually got time to look it up because I just heard about this, but I got an article. But
Because lynching's already illegal.
They have an anti-lynching bill. I can pull it right now. Actually, it's on my phone. It's actually on live. But if you look up the anti-lynching bill right now, you're going to see both of their names, and both of them were pushing this. So it just seems kind of... You know what it reminds me of? When the Las Vegas shooting happened.
Wait, but they're not Congress people, so why would their name be on it?
I thought they are congressmen.
No, they're not.
Weren't they in Congress? And they're senators.
No, they're senators.
Yeah, senators.
Yeah, these aren't Congress people.
Regardless. They're senators.
That's what I'm saying. Their name won't be on the bill.
Wrong. I mean,
you said their name was on the bill. Their name won't be on the bill.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they're on the bill.
Mm.
I'm saying that they were pushing that.
Mm.
Like, they were pushing that propaganda. It just was convenient that right after that happened, they started immediately pushing that and said that it was that there was a lynching crime or something like that, and that they needed to get this bill passed. Now, I remember when, like I was saying, the Las Vegas shooting happened, Hillary Clinton was even pushing immediately that the bump stock bill needs to be passed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like when you see like Congress move quickly on certain things, when I see stuff like that, I start thinking like it might be some kind of like there's a connection there, just because they be on it so fast and they already got something in place. So that's where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I heard that and I was like, I might have to look more into it. But just with him being, it's really taking a hit to a black movement to an extent, and the homosexual movement, for him to try to perpetrate that as a hate crime towards both things and just throw this fucking propaganda in there to say that it was both. These are this MAGA country, fuck you faggot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just really pushed it.
He's a scumbag.
And it just seems like, it just seems like why, and then when I say why, it's like I'm saying it could be other things connected. So.
Well, why is he's a fucking narcissist, selfish piece of shit?
I mean, but look, if he hasn't shown signs of that before,
he has.
See this now. What is that?
He got arrested for DUI and lied and said his brother's name.
What did he say? He said he was his brother.
He got pulled over for driving drunk and gave his brother's name instead of his.
God dang it.
Yeah, the nigga's a fucking like.
That's fucked up.
He's a manipulator. Like, he has that kind of behavior in his past. Like, this isn't like a thing. So
I mean, that's fucked up. It is a thing.
And then the level of the evidence that they have and some of the texts they released where he was talking, he texted you like, "Yo, I need y'all to help me out with something." He was talking about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
It doesn't mean that it may mean that he's capable of doing it. It doesn't mean that he wasn't connected to anybody else.
But what I'm saying is they have evidence of his intent and like his motivation.
I mean, saying that is, you know, what is. I mean, it's just what I'm saying. There's gonna be a story. There's gonna be something. It's gonna be a good, you know, something good enough to hang on to. In all these situations that we've seen that sketchy shit in.
So you're saying like one of those two fucking like senators paid him to do it?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know what they could have did. They could have.
So what's the connection between what the senators did and him?
That right when he had this happen, they started pushing that bill hard, and now that it actually got some kind of momentum behind it. So that's why I'm saying there's a connection here. That's point blank fact.
But what do you think that
they were pushing behind? Now they're half stepping and trying to, you know what I'm saying, like pull back and say we have to see all the information that's being said.
What's this bill?
It's an anti-lynching bill. Google that.
But what is it?
Google that. I can't remember. It's basically against the minorities, including LGBTQ.
So what I looked up, it basically said that lynching, they want to make it a federal hate crime. Apparently, lynching right now technically isn't a federal hate crime, so they want to get it classified as such. Mm-hmm. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, so that's an opinion, but I'm just saying that is it connected to what's going on with him?
I think
the fact that he brought a noose into it, the fact that we see a clothing brand bring a noose into their fucking repertoire, other than that, I'm just saying, regardless, we're seeing this. I'm connecting dots where it's like, why at this point in time am I seeing 3 instances where there's a noose?
Well, I think politicians will use any public stir to politicize their agenda. So it's like they may have had this bill completely independent of what happened to Jussie Smollett, and then once that came out, they're like, oh, we can use this energy surrounding like a noosing to push our fucking bill, and then they go full court press. I think it happens incident first, and then the senator politicizes it.
Well, I mean, if there's already something there, then it's there first, then something happens, and then they choose to push that.
And yeah, they use the momentum from that to jump full force into it.
So then the question is there any correlation between the event and the agenda?
Well, I think the agenda is already in place, and I think they use an event to just jump on the bandwagon of the momentum.
I feel like that works in a lot of cases, but the timing of the situations.
What do you mean?
How it happened right after the headline came out, they jumped on it.
Yeah.
And then they didn't really give time for it to develop or all information come out. Now the information come out. Now they're saying that now we have to, investigate and see if all the facts are clear.
Right. Because once it starts getting a little fishy, they're like, oh, let's get away, let's distance ourselves.
Right. I mean,
but like
it
when
makes sense why they would do it, but it just when I saw that, it could have just been like, oh, this shit blew up and it wasn't supposed to, and now they're trying to cover this. That's possible.
That I think
it's a possibility.
So here's what I think: if it was the agenda of the government that is really making the calls and who control that, then they would have orchestrated an event and it would not.
Also,
let me finish. If they were in if the government is responsible for orchestrating an event to a false flag level so they can push an agenda, I think that when it comes down to how quickly the story fell apart, it would not have fallen apart that quickly. Because the government controls the media, therefore, if it does fall apart, they're not going to be reporting.
No, sometimes they want to report the fall down because they want to incite that influence. And that,
what influence
fall
would they be inciting with this?
There's fall guys always. You know what I'm saying?
But here's what I'm saying.
They'll let off of that fall guy. They won't stay on that guy for as long as they stay on other people. R. Kelly.
But here's what I'm saying. Whatever they wanted to push their agenda, they've already got.
All right, so
the fallout from this will go against that agenda. So why would they allow it?
It's not really going.
If you're trying to push anti-lynching, why would you make the biggest victim of lynching, quote unquote, be looked at as a complete fucking scumbag? You would not want that because it takes the attention away from lynching. You're trying to put some lynching.
I see what you're saying is because he had a noose in it. Now I mean,
now the noose is nowhere near to the front of the story, and he is because when you have false flags, the incident goes away and then it turns in, and then they pivot into guns, huh?
If it's not toward the front of the story, it's not necessarily hurting it. It just is skeptical how it came right when that happened. But look, the other point was that he has, I don't know exactly who it is, but he has a very financially impressive defensive attorney. You know what I'm saying? His defense is kind of extravagant for what he seems his budget is considering that he was doing this because he wasn't getting paid enough. You know what I'm saying? He is a very expensive attorney, so it just seems like it could be some things there. Now, if he gets off, then he just say, oh, was this not his money all going into this? Is there some sponsor involved in this situation that is making sure that his deed isn't going too punishable? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just saying, like, it's we need to see what's going on. It doesn't even all the way matter like that, but it's just something that I feel is fishy how it happened and why it happened. Why would this motherfucker think that that's really going to work? Or like, you see that fucking note that he sent himself that said like you're gonna die like never.
Bro, he is
shit like that. Shit
a fucking.
I can't just judge. I don't know this motherfucker, but I'm just saying from what we see, it looks like something's fucked up in there.
I think he's a fucking scumbag.
I know that it'd be other forces that go down when I see headlines. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know. So. But when this is dealing with black community and LGBTQ, and those are two of the main communities that are getting played on when it comes to chaos music, when it comes to just headlines that are just tweaking those motherfucking nerves in the country to have us reacting on some bullshit, boycott or something, fucking.
But this is the thing; they would have.
Just what's going on?
If that was the agenda, then the story wouldn't have broken down because now it's not creating chaos amongst our communities. It's just everyone versus him. It didn't make, because if they would not have come out with the fact that he lied about it, it would have been like the gay and black community against MAGA people, right? It would have made MAGA people more defensive because they are getting victimized by this headline that they may not really associate themselves with people who would commit a hate crime, and then it makes black and gay people hate MAGA. So that level of chaos and dissent in the culture would have been way heightened more if the story didn't come out about him lying. That's why I think if they were behind it, they would have covered their tracks way better than he did on his own. Because the way he was getting caught was just so fucking like basic. Like, you know what I'm saying? He paid the niggas with a check. He had a text messages like, yo, I have an illegal plan. It's like, yo, they would not have caught that shit that quick, nigga. You're the worst criminal ever, bro.
It would be discouraging that shit, to be honest. Maybe he had people paying him on the side of trying to dead that propaganda.
I mean, if he has factions on two sides, double crossing.
The money thing is what raises eyebrows from what I heard and I realized now looking at
what money thing?
Where he has this defense attorney that he doesn't seem that he should be able to afford.
But this is the thing. He's an actor who may not have money, right? But when... That's what I'm saying. But this is the thing. When people see an event that is generating this much attention and buzz, who they feel... But let me finish. These people who cost a lot of money, they will jump on a case they feel like is a slam dunk just so they get attention from it. They don't need the money. But the attention of a high-profile celebrity, we're going to fucking get behind this dude. They get behind a dude who is obviously a victim of a hate crime. He's gay and he's black. We can get so much positive press, and we defend him. We'll be in front of the cameras talking about how this is bad, and we'll advance our agenda. So we'll take him on pro bono for the benefit that comes just from exposure. That happens all the time.
True.
People hop onto the backs of people who are in attention. Like just fucking like leechers. They just come across, they see you as dollar signs for the agenda. That's why I said the politicians probably did that. They probably saw this as an opportunity. We can use this to get that lynch bill passed because
it's possible, but
you know what I'm saying?
It seems like the people who got money like that need to do all that for that publicity. They already getting that money.
But this is the thing.
Like somebody really want him to get off. But that's just what it'll just look like.
When you can get goodwill of the people, you're getting a level of benefit that can't be quantified with money because you already get money, but no one else. But
there's wealth in that for sure.
For sure, that's what I'm saying. They will use that because it seems so open and shut, and it seems so perfect to just manipulate for your own personal gain. On the good side, like, this nice black actor who's also gay was both attacked for being black and gay. That's all. Like in the outrage culture, they would milk that dry, bro. They saw dollar signs, bro. That's why the news covered it so crazy. That's why celebrities came out tweeting all this crazy shit. They saw this opportunity as a chance to identify with the good side in an extremely public manner. And they wanted those points from the social currency that comes with virtue signaling and moral high ground. And they manipulated that. That's why they're all fucking silent now that he came out as a fucking liar.
Who are you talking about exactly?
I'm talking about, in general, the public personas and the people who live in the lifestyle where they gain social currency by being on the right side or on the good side. They use these events to like voice their outrage and attach themselves to the good side and defend the person who was victimized so they can gain clout in a way. Mm-hmm. Because once you are the fucking law attorney, if you're the lawyer who fucking convicted the fucking two MAGA dudes for the beaten up and almost lynched a gay black dude, you get so much clout in the press. I mean, you feel me?
Johnny Cochran got all that clout.
That's what I'm saying.
OJ off, and everybody thought OJ did it.
That's what I'm saying.
I kind of don't. Just putting my little 2 cents on it.
You would.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
that's
said
fine.
What you did?
I said I kind of don't.
What?
Think that he did it. But that's a hot ass take, I guess, right?
No.
I really feel like he was set up. I feel like it was way too perfect of a motherfucking setup to me. I felt like the evidence was way too apparent. I feel like it was way too
Have you seen the story of OJ?
Yeah, you're just talking shit.
I feel like if anything, I feel like he may have paid some Mexican.
Have you seen the story of OJ?
That's it. I can only say
Have you seen the story of OJ?
Huh?
Have you seen the story of OJ?
Yeah, I seen that shit.
And you still...
I feel like that shit was so... And the way he was so, like, unassuming the whole time, I felt like it was like...
Nigga, what? He's a fucking sociopath, bro.
He's in jail right now. What are you talking about?
He's in jail for some other shit, but still on his own.
He's crazy.
Shit.
No, he's back out. He's out.
He was actually out.
When did he get out?
He's been out. It was like a 2 years ago.
The juices are loose.
The juice is loose. That's what it was. That was like the hashtag.
He ain't for to get that.
Yeah, but he was locked up, but it wasn't for that.
Yo, he's still out here getting white cheeks. But look, this is the thing. I don't.
Yo, he almost cut their heads off. Their heads was almost severed, yo.
Bro, he's a fucking maniac.
You don't even know this thing.
I saw all 6 parts of the documentary.
Oh my god!
I pretty much know
all 6 parts.
I pretty much fucking know. Here's the thing. He went on a fucking interview talk show after he got the whole thing over. He released the book. He was saying, "What if I did
what
it?"
if I did it?
And he went in this.
That's something that you would do. You would do something like that. You would do the same thing.
He was like, they were like, okay, so if you did it, how would you do it? And the level of detail he went into describing how he'd kill her was eerily similar to the evidence.
Oh my god.
He was like taunting people with it.
No man.
He was like, this is all hypothetical. Like, watch it. It's eerie, bro. It's eerie. You look into his eyes, you can say, oh, you're a fucking murderer. He seems too detached from empathy. He was
I don't know, because even when I saw...
that nigga's a maniac, bro. He's a fucking sociopath. Yo, I
don't know. I'm not even going to touch on that.
He was beating the shit out of her, too, bro. He had a history of violence.
He was beating her ass.
So,
I don't feel like he'd cut somebody from ear to ear with all severing their head.
The nigga ran for how many yards in the season? He's a physical freak. He probably didn't even mean to, bro.
There was a Spanish gang that in the area, their trademark was severing their head the same way.
Yo.
Okay, that doesn't make sense, I guess.
No way, bro.
In LA, I guess.
Yo, the nigga's a psycho.
Look, we are programmed to think that OJ is a psycho.
I'm not programmed to think anything.
I feel like...
How's that programmed?
There is a lot... He has an image on him. We don't know the whole story, okay?
Yo, I pretty much run the whole...
Hold on, wait a minute. If there was ever a crime where you know the whole story...
I'm pretty sure I know the whole fucking story.
What do you mean?
Not really.
Yeah, I think I know a lot more than normal cases, bro. I know the stuff. Yo, this nigga.
These guys are OJ haters, clearly. This
bro,
is the juice they're
I know.
talking about.
I mean, he's a fucking, like, fun guy. He's probably fun to be around. He's probably cool. He probably has a bunch of cool stories. I would love to hang out with him and have a beer. I'm saying, he killed my bitch, though. I don't think
I would love to hang out with him and have a beer.
I mean, like, yo, he caught a body. All right. I mean, you did your time, whatever. You came home.
He might murder you.
Like, you might have hurt the bitch. I ain't judging you, bro. He don't got no problem with me. He ain't gonna kill me.
Might be the last beer.
I'm not judging him. I ain't saying I'm judging him. I fuck with Jose. He can come chill, but I'm saying he killed that bitch. We don't gotta talk about it.
I don't know. I don't feel like...
You got mad. You got mad. You killed it. You beat the body. You came home. What fuck? You mean? Yo, he beat the body.
I feel like it was race baiting still.
Nah, he beat the body.
How was he race baiting? He's alive.
He caught a body and beat the charge. That's celebration. Let's celebrate now.
That's what I'm saying. He's alive. There's no race baiting.
He still was locked up.
Yeah, but he did 2 years.
The white woman is dead, not the black man. What you talking about?
Who?
How is it race baiting? The black man's still alive.
He was alive, but still, it was alive. I'm talking at the time when it happened. I don't know.
He killed that bitch.
He killed him.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks
I ain't OJ. I don't know.
Still,
I fuck with the
still,
juice.
nigga. Okay. The thing, if this was like some bullshit basic brand, it would be a non-story.
Right.
So we only care this much because we put so much value into it. Just redistribute that value to your own people. You feel me?
I agree with that.
That's how you solve it. Because as long as you give that much power to a corporation, they're going to manipulate it.
Yeah.
They're going to. That's just the nature of capitalism. They're going to look for an edge and exploit it. You feel me? So as long as you hold value in people or entities that have little priority and value placed in you and your community, then I think you need to start to reevaluate. Because you got to think, like, it wasn't fucking, like, think of all the big brands that aren't really, like, oriented in hip-hop but are still major brands. It didn't happen to any of those. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you say?
Well, I'm just talking about when you talk about finding the solutions to problems like these, I think we need to create value in our own brands to the level of these high-end.
That's the biggest solution. It's just like we can't have like the people who are complaining and saying that we need to boycott. They had the power to try to build a brand on their own. They already had the reputation and the influence to build a brand on their own. They might not have the same resources as Gucci, but regardless, you got the influence that if you get, you know, some kind of presentable situation that you could try to make that cool yourself and have your following follow that. But Like we are choosing, whoever we that T.I. is and the other people are trying to defend. We are choosing to embrace whatever it is, the brand that it is. You know what I'm saying? We're choosing to embody that and see that in value. So then we ask, why are we seeing that in value? It all traces back to the influence that the people who are the heads of pop culture are, and that they see it in value. So like when they're saying to boycott these brands, you're telling people of our stature to not wear the 1-2 belts that they have, the one hat, the 2 pair of slippers that they have. But y'all are the ones who have been dumping money into them and making us spend all our money, hard earned, barely got, to just get the 2 pair of damn slippers that we got.
Yo, can I voice an unpopular opinion?
Good.
On some real shit.
Here we go.
If you remove the pink lips from that blackface Gucci, that shit would be kind of tough, bro. If it just had the ski mask vibes,
I'm done.
If it was just a black turtleneck that go over your lips with the ski mask, the half ski,
I'm done.
bro,
It is.
think about it.
No.
Think about
Shut the fuck up.
Think about it
It
objectively.
is.
Think about it objectively.
No.
If they came out with a motherfucking
it wasn't
turtleneck
It wasn't
with the
cool.
lips cut out on like some ski mask shit,
Why
you feel
are
me?
the lips on there at all?
Because it's a ski mask.
Then your lips are under the ski mask. You didn't need lips on a ski mask. Why put?
But this is what I'm saying. If the red lips weren't painted on or whatever the case, and it was just all black, and it was like a ski mask vibe, and you had to think,
you could get that
shit would be kind of tough,
You get it from
bro.
the gas station. What
No,
is it?
bro, with the sweater though, bro,
Oh,
and this
God.
Gucci nigga, what I would cop, bro. I'm telling you, on a cool
Hey,
day,
no, it's a real shit. That is kind of a cool concept.
It's kinda phenomenal.
Pull your face from a turtleneck.
yeah, you just wear it as a turtleneck, but you want flexible
They
picture, you
fucked
pull it
up
up,
when
put the
they
thing
put-
on.
No, they
You
put
feel
the
me?
lips-
Had a fucking Scully on. Gucci Scully with
They
the.
put the lips on there. And
But
fucked
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
everything
Fucked all it up. But the vibe before the lips might have been kind of fly,
up.
bro.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't. The concept is kind of creative. That's all I'm
see
saying.
one of these loving hip hop girls wearing that shit. I ain't gonna.
You will
lie.
freak that in hella IG pics. I'm
I
telling
would
you, bro.
never freak that. in
If you
not
had the
one
fucking Gucci
IG
sweater
pic.
with the ski mask,
Not
on,
one
with the
IG
Scully,
pic.
bro, you would freak that shit. Had a belt.
I
I'm
wear
telling
the
you, bro.
Kodak black ski mask. If anything.
Nah, bro, because you don't want to have the whole face. You don't want fucking hair
The
with the whole pulling over your head. You pull it up over the lips. You feel me? You feel me? You
You know
pull
what
it
I'm saying? You
over the
don't
lips.
want fucking hair, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck the waves up, pulling that shit on.
Nah, I'm gonna have one of them velvet do rags on. That's,
But see, this
that's
is
popping
the
on our Instagram right
But
now.
the Gucci got the sweater with the joint, so it's like you get the ski mask on
Yo.
the bottom half of the ski mask, and then you got the hat on. You feel me?
Yo, these niggas Prada put a little ass monkey that look like a little ass black lady on goddamn the keychain. What
But
the
see,
fuck
the
was
thing
that?
is, the thing with them, I think that was a legitimate mistake.
Get the
And here's
fuck
why.
outta here, man.
But here's why. I think
They
Prada,
look like people.
but they made a bunch of other colors.
Yeah, they had some other colors too.
So I think they just didn't think the other color, that color through.
That shit look like
You feel me? Like if they only made that color, I'm like, oh, they was going for that. But they probably just had the little toy monkey or whatever and thought it was some fly shit and had different colors, and they didn't think through how that one color.
Yeah, none of them look like monkeys. They all look like little people. Now maybe one look light skinned than the others, but regardless of the red lips, that makes it look like a motherfucking blackface. So I see why people
For
trip.
sure.
But regardless, that little face, and then who was that? Who put the black face on the coat? It was a coat full of
Montclair.
Montclair, my ass. What kind of shit
Well,
was
here's
that?
the thing. I think those companies are guilty of really dabbling in some of
What
those
the fuck was that?
outrage marketing schemes. But I think
Nah,
the Prada
bro.
one was a little more forgivable. I'm not saying they didn't do it purposely, but I'm saying that one I can understand. If they had to say all of these instances happened and one of them was a legitimate mistake, I would say Prada was probably the one to be the mistake. And I don't say they did. I'm not thinking
I
that
can
they
only
did.
say that
I said
because
out
they
of
had
all
an
of
alternative that wasn't
Right.
like that.
Out of all of them, that one was the least offensive. And it was still offensive.
But we can still say that it's weird that they all came at the same time.
Well, Prada was a
And that-
little bit before.
That's a little
It
before.
was, it was kind of a while ago. And at that time, it was just reporting on something that had been out for a while.
Okay, I didn't know that, but these are coming right in Black History Month, and they are blatant.
Those are, yes. The noose is undefendable. Indefensible.
What the fuck is the noose?
Even if it wasn't
Who's
black
that
people.
again?
Even if it
Really?
was... Yeah, Burberry. But
Burberry?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Even if it wasn't associated with lynching black people and it was just like suicide or hanging people in general,
Like,
that's still like not
nothing,
like...
nothing validates that.
Right. Even if it wasn't about race, that's just like distasteful. You feel me? Like, why would you put a noose around your neck as a?
It is death culture in charge.
It was something that, and it was very,
culture,
I think it was very distasteful. I think a lot of people who see that associated with death of people they care about, as far as lynching, or maybe a person who committed suicide. I think that was very tough.
We are experiencing the utmost.
Burberry's not even that fly anyway. I think Burberry's kind of like trash.
No, but their cologne is very good.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of the fragrance game comes from the lower level fashion brands with clothes, but I do think no, for real, think about it. Like the ones, but no,
that was so condescending.
That's so Paul.
But you gotta think.
That's such a Paul sentence.
Who says that?
Think about the best fragrances. They not also the best like clothing wise. Like when it comes to like the luxury fashion brands, the ones who we like for the clothes don't got the best fragrances. The ones who we like for the fragrances don't got the best clothes. So they mastered that art. But this is the thing.
Either way, you got Prada upstairs. That shit smells amazing.
Yeah, Prada still
no.
Burberry
Prada,
smell good, but
Prada's not Gucci clothes.
But Burberry
Gucci, as far as Gucci, Louis is clothes, apparel.
Do you think? So you think Gucci is like super far ahead of like Prada as far as like sales?
Well, no, I'm talking about as far as influencing our culture.
Oh, right.
You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. We
Prada had their foothold for a little while though.
Well, they had those trash shoes that were like $3, but they were right. I'm talking about the no, Burberry hasn't been popping in hip hop culture since them niggas in New Orleans had Burberry print on their cars. Like that was when they had their heyday. When they was getting the fake Burberry print on their Air Forces.
Do you have mine or just mine?
This is mine. I got my thing.
No, that's definitely mine. No,
this is yours.
Yours is over here, bro. You just had it. You just had this right here.
Damn. You hadn't even been on this side of the room.
I was on the side of the room.
Oh,
you don't fucking know.
Okay.
But look, here's the thing. I think Burberry is
You don't.
I think Burberry.
I
think Burberry is the most offensive case of all these things. I think the news is just, it's associated with such trauma for a lot of people. I think,
and it was a legit news.
And that's the thing, yeah. It's not even like, that's what I'm saying. It's not even like the other things can be
Burberry,
like.
by the way.
The other things, like, okay, you got the little like monkey looking thing. You can like make an excuse for that being into it. You got the fucking blackface sweater. You can make an excuse and say it's just a sweater with the thing. But when you got a fucking noose, just a noose, it's just a noose. Like even the Montclair blackface people, you could be like, oh, that's just like some other shit. But like you just literally have a noose hung around a model's neck. That's it. There's no like art to it. There's no logo on it. Like you just put a noose.
But that's what tells me that it's some baiting going on. I'm trying to put the pieces together. You feel me?
No, I said the same thing.
But you know what I'm saying?
But they're just the most egregious.
Definitely, and that's what it was like. That's the cherry on the top. But I'm like, all right, we gotta throw the flag on this one now. Something the fuck's going on. Yeah, you got blackface, you got monkeys hanging on purses.
Yeah.
Blackface on multiple people during Black History Month.
Listen, like
I'm not saying I'm putting that much into Black History Month. I appreciate that. And that's for other people to learn about Black history, like Charlamagne said.
Mark my words. Listen to me now.
I don't really fuck with Charlamagne all the way, but he alright.
February 22nd. Paul Smith said this. Some brand's going to come out with a T-shirt.
Paul Smith said this.
There's going to be a brand that comes out with a T-shirt, and the image on the T-shirt is going to be a bunch of white people standing around and hanging dead black men.
What
like those, you remember in the back when they would take pictures around the hung black man?
Yeah.
And it would be like a postcard. That's how they would do it back then on some real savage shit.
I remember that.
Somebody's gonna put that on a T-shirt and sell it. That image.
So you think it's gonna be like Gucci or something like that?
No, it's gonna be a brand though. It's gonna be a brand who tries to get that off, and it's gonna create uproar in the black community.
It's interesting.
I can see it happening. Mark my words. If we see that come,
wait.
Remember I said,
hold on. Let me say something. It's interesting Paul brought that up because I had this idea years ago for a clothing brand that I was going to make that only showed images of stuff like that, just to make sure people don't forget about.
That's kind of real.
But hold on, the whole idea. Hold on,
a meme page. It's a meme page kind
of. The whole idea was to make it visceral.
That's
like the same way you come around the corner. Hold on, same way you come around the corner. Sometimes you see people standing out there with like pictures of like late abortion babies and shit like that.
I've never seen that in my life.
What? What do you mean?
What?
You've seen stuff like that all the time.
You
never seen them. You never
those
seen
people are attention seeking.
Hold on. You've never seen a 5x7 of a baby with his head cracked open?
Okay. I fucking run through that shit like the Little Giants banner. I crash through that shit. Fuck out of here, nigga.
Like the Little Giants banner. Italian fuck out of here.
Oh, get that baby out of here.
I'm pro-choice, bro. I don't want to see that shit.
Fuck that baby. Shit like a little giant.
Crack that so quick. That shit out my face, bro.
Oh shit!
Early in the morning for that shit.
These niggas are stupid.
I swear to God, bro. It's insensitive.
Oh, yes, it is.
This left the abortion clinic gotta see that. Damn.
Yeah, that is crazy.
God, they say, now she committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? They responsible for that death.
The Planned Parenthood is strong, man. You know what I'm saying?
But my words, bro. You gonna see some shit like that? Watch. And they gonna try and get it off as that reason. They gonna try. Oh, we thought this would be black uproar. I'm telling you, you gonna see something like that on a t-shirt. And they're gonna try and make it swaggy. Watch.
Hey, follow Gary Wills. Gary with 2 R's.
my hot take
Gary
of the day.
Wills. He has some fire ass shirts and merchandise. I'll check them out.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that doesn't happen, Paul.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen. But this is the thing. We're seeing the level of provocation. We're seeing it increase slowly. And if we're at nooses, what's the next level of outrage that we can reach? What's going to be visibly the most obscene and egregious form of provocation to a certain subculture that we can do? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be something like that. What's going to be? I'm telling you. Either that or like some KKK shit, like or some like hoodie. It's gonna be a Supreme mashup with like the Grand Wizard hood, and it's gonna be like, whoa, it's kind of swaggy, and they're gonna try and get it. You know what I mean? Something like they're gonna try and freak something into like making it like. Remember when Kanye tried to get off the Confederate flag and shit, trying to make it artsy and cool. Kanye was like, "Oh, I'm taking back the Confederate flag." They're gonna try to do some like subversive shit and like make a Klan hoodie cool or something like crazy, like you know what I'm saying, like that. Like try to make it like counterculture.
Remember they tried to take the shoes and they put the shackles on there.
We talked about that. That's what I'm saying. They be trying to do little edgy shit, playing around with slavery. It's like, yo, somebody gonna take it too far. I'm saying, watch.
They have taken it too far.
But it is gonna take it further. And what's the next level? We've already seen shit like that. Shackles.
Just having a shackle on the ankle of a fucking shoe, like that's either saying slavery or jail. in a shoe that's styled that a black person would buy, and it was. So it was like that was completely disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Like they be trying this all the time, and it really just shows that if we don't want to be tried, we need to make our own shit. We really cannot complain about what other brands make that are made by, predominantly backed by other races, and that, if we wouldn't make nothing that would offend us. So if we want to support anybody and not get offended, then we need to support our own damn selves.
He telling the truth because I just seen him the other day with a platinum FUBU hoodie on. That shit was crispy
what
too.
What the fuck?
Yo, he really is for us, by us. Yo, I'm telling you. Yo.
No.
Yeah, bro.
I don't approve of that.
Nah, bro. Yo, I seen.
I didn't say nothing about platinum FUBU.
You had the Sean John Velour suit.
Who are you talking about?
Nah, bro.
I wear local black brands. I'm wearing Ill Supply apparel right now. Follow them at Ill Supply apparel on IG.
You had the Echo.
No, I ain't nothing on my ass.
You had the Echo.
And look, that's a slavery right there. I don't even care that he's talking about brands that could possibly be worn. Why can't I wear that? Why can't I? Because I've been pre-programmed to think that Echo is some shit.
What you mean?
I've been pre-programmed to think that Echo sounds terrible. Echo happens in houses that are big and open. So Echo doesn't happen on clothes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You need to
be
more open-minded to certain brands.
I guess so, bro. Maybe I'm closed.
Always Ill and I may wear some Levi's and Vans. I wear a lot of Levi's and Vans. I think Levi's Vans got the most of the money out of any brand consistently.
Yeah, I got a lot of Levi's shit.
Levi's and Vans, Nike, they get my money or whatever. But
I reject the idea of clothing.
Okay, so that was not supported by Be Water Podcast. We did not support that statement. We support clothes.
Yeah.
I don't like shackles. I don't like restrictions.
We support knowing that we bit the apple from the tree of knowledge.
I'm the type of nigga that's like,
we are knowledgeable of ourselves.
Before all that shit, before the quits.
What?
I was naked.
You were naked when?
All the time.
Okay. He's naked, but he's preferably naked right now.
I think, but no, I think we do need to support more black brands.
On some real shit, my biggest reflection is new thing on this season is the Be Water Reflections. My reflection on this is that the people who are complaining about Gucci committing this act, basically creating designing a campaign for their own brand that they own and they have fully controlled for as long as they have been in existence, that if we don't like it, we make our own stuff and use our influence to produce affluence for that. And if we're not going to do that, then we can't complain about what they do. You know, because we're not a part of the partners on that brand. We're not a part of the creative process of that brand. So how can we control that? You know, well, all we can do is control our dollars towards it. But if we have issues with not supporting, wearing that brand, then we need to look ourselves in the mirror and see exactly how influential these influences are on us, and see why we need to indulge in these influences. You know, like that's really what we have to see. Why do we need Gucci to make us feel any goddamn thing? You know, especially when they feel this way about us. So, you know, like that's the biggest thing we got to see in all this is that if they don't care about us, we don't need to care about them. We don't need to care about the affluence of them. If you want to wear it because it makes you feel good, wear it. But, you know, don't think about what anybody says. If you want to wear it. But just know there's a bunch of other brands out here that you're wearing that don't give a fuck about you. So only care about how it feels, about how it makes you feel, but examine why it makes you feel the way it makes you feel. Because nothing should make you feel more than you other than you. So that's what we need to stand on in all this, you feel me? But regardless, you know, we don't need to put onus in any of this bullshit. Gucci can do what the fuck they want to do. They baiting us, and look, we don't know exactly why or whatever the scheme is, but I feel like it's bait. I'm not saying it's just Gucci. We clearly see the other brands, but I feel like it's bait. You put a noose around your fucking neck. You know what it fucking looks like. You see what the temperature is, and you gonna put that shit out. Like, that's a slap in the fucking face. I'm sorry, you feel me? I'm just saying, like, we need to see what the fuck's going on. Like, and then I'm telling you, they're not slapping us in the faces. We do not. Most of us be buying fake Gucci and fucking Louis and all that bullshit. You feel me? So, like, the motherfuckers who really buying that shit and putting money into their stock, they aren't getting a piece of that stock. All these rappers and entertainers.
Matter of fact, you know what we should do? We should just go buy all fake Gucci and just proudly wear fake shit. Like, yeah, bitch, I'm wearing y'all shit. And I ain't giving y'all no money, bitch. Look at my fake Gucci, bro. Make that shit hard, bro. I'm like, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with fake Gucci if black people wouldn't make fun of you about it.
You know, but there's a thing. If you owned it and you called it like an act of rebellion and shit,
I feel like
that would be kind of, you can freak that. You feel me? And you just be like, yeah, I got my fake Gucci slides on. And then it's like, yo, I feel what you're doing, and they also got the Gucci vibe, so it's fly, but it's also like for the people.
Yeah.
I'm about to come out with some fake Gucci shit. That'd be my campaign, that'd be my marketing.
I feel that 110%. Fake Gucci campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, look, if you gonna wear it. I don't be like Mayweather, I don't blame him because of half the shit he said and his little rant, I damn sure agree with. Because fucking, I tell you what, Love and Hip Hop is doing worse for the young community than motherfucking Gucci is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and this is the thing. Honestly, like,
he's a bad influence.
If he want to wear Gucci, he don't even gotta give no fucking excuse. He can be like, yo, I know they did some racist shit, and I don't give a fuck. I like their products. I'm wearing it. He don't gotta give no explanation to nobody. He don't owe nobody shit.
Yeah, Floyd don't have a history of like standing up for the black community, so to expect him to just come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm with the Gucci boycott," is just kind of stupid.
Yeah, because here's the thing: as much as we would want him to, he's not obligated to, and he's not obligated to give you a reason for why. So it's like I agree with you that he made a lot of good points in his response, but at the end of the day, he don't owe nobody no fucking response. We're not a monolith, and some people are going to have different views on things that are considered racist by black folks in general. That being said, just because he's rich and famous, you expect him to have a certain viewpoint, and when he doesn't, you want to just completely like shit on him and call him all kinds of coons and things like that, which he may be. I'm I'm not saying he's not. He may have a completely anti-black kind of sentiment behind it. But if he didn't and he decided to wear Gucci, I don't think you can just like call him those things.
I definitely don't think you can call him those things. Nobody can judge no damn body. I mean, he worked to be in a position to where he can be unbothered.
Right.
To be fucking honest. But, you know, we can judge people, but we just don't know because we're not in their position. You know, we don't have the obligations that they have. And to be honest, a lot of that racial shit is propagated and put there to throw us off of our path. He didn't allow it to throw him off his path enough to where he didn't earn billions of fucking dollars boxing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we let daily shit fuck us up on our own daily shit.
And look, how many companies will we have to boycott if we learn the racist tendencies of people who wear those something? I think about the nigga from Papa John's just came out recently and had got in trouble because he was saying some racist shit in a meeting or whatever.
Yeah, it was a conference call.
And I'm like, yo, bro, if it's a fucking late night Papa John's, the only pizzeria open, bro, I'm going to Papa John's to get me a motherfucking small pie.
Right, but I think it's common knowledge now. He's never really liked black people, though. This isn't the first thing that happened.
But what I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck about that because...
No, me neither. But I'm just saying, people already knew that he was like that. Anyway.
But the point I'm trying to make is, we pick and choose who we decide to boycott, right? Based on different things. That being said, if we really were going to boycott companies who have racist tendencies, we would be boycotting so many companies.
Chick-fil-A?
That to get like...
Chick-fil-A?
To get... What did you
Chick-fil-A?
The CEO came out a couple of years ago and was like, we're totally against gay marriage. 100%.
What that got to do with racist, though?
No, I'm just saying that's a discrimination.
This ain't saying
the
same thing.
Yeah.
People should be outraged, but nobody's going to boycott Chick-fil-A. That shit's amazing.
That's facts. If they came out with some racist shit, I wouldn't boycott.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying.
I'm still going to eat it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If Gucci is Chick-fil-A to Floyd.
The food word.
Chick-fil-A to me is like a thing. It's like, that's easy. I caught that real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's what Gucci is to Floyd. So he's like, yeah, we're all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Get my fucking Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Gucci is just big thing to y'all. Like, nigga, that's fine.
Like Netflix, when Monique wanted about boycott Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
That is not that big of a bill, and there's way more of a blessing than this.
Yeah, the weird thing is that, like, there aren't any companies, there aren't many that, like, if you're calling for a boycott for them, you know the boycott's going to work because the majority of the consumer base is black. There aren't many companies like that where it's like, you know what I mean? Like, if your core consumer base is black, you're probably not going to have any of these issues with, like, racist shit happening in your clothes. And your body.
They would have to,
look, but
like if the niggas who made pink lotion came out and said some racist shit, maybe I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Pink lotion and Shea Moisture, if they came out and said some racist shit. For real. When Shea Moisture came out and said some wild shit.
Cantu shit?
Bro, Cantu. I love Cantu. Yo, Cantu.
I'm trying to be a Cantu.
More like Clantu.
Clantu.
I'm trying to be a Cantu.
This guy's an asshole.
Shout out to my baby.
I'm saying, but they got a lot of black folks in there.
At the Regal Lady.
Right.
Follow her at the Regal Lady.
The do-rag manufacturers came out on some wild shit.
Daily mindfulness and meditation.
Dark and lovely.
Out of business quickly.
No. Real shit though. I fuck with Cantu.
Yeah, that's fine. I fuck with Cantu. Shout out to Cantu.
I do fuck with Cantu Pros. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really about to try and get with him. Cantu, what up? Put me on the sponsorship.
I need some hair milk, bitch.
It's some beard products.
I need some beard products. Some oil. Some oil, bitch.
Yo, but yeah, y'all, with that, with all the Gucci, Louis, Prada, you feel me? We don't need no clothes to make us feel any better about ourselves.
Walk around naked.
I'm on my Charlemagne right now. You know Charlemagne always do the fun.
Oh, so you gonna suck 6ix9ine dick when he get out of
Whoa.
jail? That's what Charlemagne's on right now. That's what Charlemagne's on right now. He confirmed it the other day.
Whoa.
He said it. That's a real thing.
Aggressive.
What did he say?
He said if 6ix9ine gets out of jail scot-free, he'd suck his dick.
Pause.
He said it twice.
I paused it for him.
No, you can't because he's ready to suck that dick.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's
There
what
it is. You
That's
heard
what
that.
Well,
I'm
ladies
not
and
gonna
gentlemen,
repeat that,
that's been the first episode. First episode of the new season. I think it's time.
Season 2 for being a rapper.
No, but yo.
Yeah, yo.
Charlemagne is crazy.
He's wilding because he said that.
Yeah, he did say that.
And he's really about to get out, so. Pucker up.
Wow.
There you go, buddy.
Shit, him
Talking all that shit all the time.
Envy gay as shit. They both gay, which is fine.
Envy and his fucking beige meter is hilarious.
Yo,
The beige meter.
I just would like Envy to just come
man.
out.
Okay, shout out to Killer Mike. First off, shout out to
You
Killer
don't have
Mike.
to. You don't have to, but I'm saying.
What?
I would love for Envy to publicly come out and address the fact that he's actually homosexual. The whole finger up the butt thing. You ain't see that interview they did with Casanova?
Oh, he said he like a finger in his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he a fucking freak. I don't mean he gay though. That's his.
No,
That's his thing, bro.
Came out and said.
That's his thing, bro.
Came out and said that?
Yeah, bro. He said he lets his wife finger his ass.
I don't know, bro.
He said that on fucking camera?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
He's a fucking deviant, bro.
Oh,
I don't
fucking
know,
Scorpio.
bro.
I thought I was.
Nah, bro. He might be a Pisces, bro. He might. Yo, he was born March 7th. I swear.
Was he really born March 7th?
He was Pisces, Aries, cusp.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
You wouldn't know Pisces here.
Cusp.
That is some Aries shit, actually.
Yo, he might be a water sign. I don't know, but
You
look.
can look that up, somebody.
That's
please.
the thing. He might be, bro. I don't know, bro. But all I'm saying is, look, he yeah, no, he was on some weird shit, bro. He like getting the fingers in his ass, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't.
You
Yo,
see, that's the thing. Where's the stop? If you get one finger, what you gonna want? Two when the one
Hey,
finger don't
the
fit?
one finger, and you don't have no control of the two. Yeah.
But
I don't know, bro.
When does it
Whatever they
stop?
do when they're married,
You need a cutoff line. You need to draw a line in the sand.
word in there.
Yo, he might,
We can't just all be out here androgynous sexual beings. It's not gonna work for me.
I don't know, yo.
It's not gonna work for
They
me.
are trying to create that world.
I
here.
need to know what's a man and what's a woman. I can't.
Man, they
I
trying
don't
to
know,
blur
bro.
all the
He
lines.
take it to the third knuckle, too,
All
bro.
sex. All
Third knuckle, right? The third knuckle.
Jesus
Damn, bro.
Christ.
terms.
The season
Big
2
old can of
premiere of the Be Water.
Came out recently and had gotten in trouble because he was and this is the thing, honestly, like he's a bad influence. He want to wear Gucci, he don't even gotta give no fucking.
A designing the campaign for their own brand that they own and they have fully controlled for as long as they have been in existence. That if we don't like it, we make our fucking neck. You know what it fucking looks like.
Black community, so to expect him to just come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm with the Gucci boycott," is just kind of stupid.
Yeah, because here's the thing: as much as we would want him to, he's not obligated to, and he's not obligated to give you a reason for why. So it's like I agree with you that he made a lot of good points in his response, but at the end of the day, he don't owe nobody no fucking response. We're not a monolith, and some people are going to have different views on things that are considered racist by black folks in general. That being said, just because he's rich and famous, you expect him to have a certain viewpoint, and when he doesn't, you want to just completely like shit on him and call him all kinds of coons and things like that, which he may be. I'm not saying he's not. He may have a completely anti-black kind of sentiment behind it, but if he didn't and he decided to wear Gucci, I don't think you can just like call him those things.
I definitely don't think you can call him those things. Nobody can judge no damn body. He worked to be in a position to where he can be unbothered.
Right.
To be fucking honest, but. You know, we can judge people, but we just don't know because we're not in their position. You know, we don't have the obligations that they have. And to be honest, a lot of that racial shit is propagated and put there to throw us off of our path. He didn't allow it to throw him off his path enough to where he didn't earn billions of fucking dollars boxing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we let daily shit fuck us up on our own daily shit.
And look, how many companies will we have to boycott if we learn the racist tendencies of people who wear those songs? I think about the nigga from Papa John's just came out recently and had gotten in trouble because he was saying some racist shit in a meeting or whatever.
Yeah, it was a conference call.
And I'm like, yo, bro, if it's a fucking late night Papa John's, the only pizzeria open, bro, I'm going to Papa John's to get me a motherfucking small pie.
Right, but I think it's common knowledge now. He's never really liked black people, though. This isn't the first thing that happened.
But what I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck about that because...
No, me neither. But I'm just saying, people already knew that he was like that anyway.
But the point I'm trying to make is, we pick and choose who we decide to boycott, right? Based on different things. That being said, if we really were going to boycott companies who have racist tendencies, we would be boycotting so many companies.
Chick-fil-A.
That to get like
Chick-fil-A.
To get what did
Chick-fil-A.
The CEO came out a couple of years ago and was like, "We're totally against gay marriage, 100%."
What they got to do with racist though?
No, I'm just saying that's a discrimination.
This ain't saying
the
same thing.
Yeah.
People should be outraged, but nobody's gonna boycott Chick-fil-A. That shit's amazing.
That's facts. If they came out with some racist shit, I wouldn't boycott.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying.
I'm still gonna eat it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If Gucci is Chick-fil-A to Floyd.
The food word.
Chick-fil-A to me is like a thing. It's like, that's easy. I caught that real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's what Gucci is to Floyd. So he's like, yeah, where are all them niggas? You know what I'm saying? Get my fucking Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Gucci's just big thing to y'all. Like, nigga, that's fine.
Like Netflix when Monique wanted to boycott Netflix.
Like, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That is not that big of a bill, and there's way more of a blessing than this.
Yeah, the weird thing is that like there aren't many that like if you're calling for a boycott for them, you know the boycott's gonna work because the majority of the consumer base is black. There aren't many companies like that where it's like, you know what I mean? Like if your core consumer base is black, you're probably not gonna have any of these issues. Yeah. With like racist shit happening in your clothes. And your body.
They would have to.
Look, but
like if the niggas who made pink lotion came out and said some racist shit, maybe I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Pink lotion and Shea Moisture, if they came out and said some racist shit, I'm being real. When Shea Moisture came out and said some wild shit.
Cantu shit,
bro. Cantu, love Cantu. Yo, Cantu.
I'm trying to be a Cantu.
More like Cleantu.
Cleantu.
I'm trying to be a Cantu.
This guy's an asshole.
Shout out to my baby.
I'm saying, but they got a lot of black folks in there.
At the Regal Lady.
Right.
Follow her at the Regal Lady.
The do-rag manufacturers came out on some wild shit.
Daily mindfulness and meditation.
Dark and lovely out of business quickly.
Nah, real shit though. I fuck with Cantu, but
Yeah, that's fine. I fuck with Couture. Shout out to Couture.
I do fuck with Couture Pros. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really about to try and get with him. Couture, what up? Put me on the sponsorship.
I need some hair milk, bitch.
Need some beard products.
I need some beard products. Some oil. Some oil, bitch.
Yo, but yeah, y'all, with that, with all the Gucci, Louis, Prada, you feel me? We don't need no clothes to make us feel any better about ourselves.
I'm naked.
I'm on my Charlemagne right now. You know Charlemagne always do the fuck.
Oh, so you gonna suck 6ix9ine dick when he get out of
Whoa.
jail? That's what Charlemagne's on right now. That's what Charlemagne's on right now. He confirmed it the other day.
Whoa.
He said it. That's a real thing.
Aggressive.
What did he say?
He said if 6ix9ine gets out of jail scot-free, he'd suck his dick.
Pause.
He said it twice.
I paused it for him.
No,
That
you
is
can't because
crazy.
he's ready to suck that dick.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's
There
what
it
it
is. You
That's
heard
on him.
that.
Well,
I'm
ladies
not
and
gonna
gentlemen,
repeat
that's
that,
been
but you heard that.
ladies and gentlemen, that's been the first episode. First episode of the new season. I think it's time.
Season 2 for being rapper.
No, but yo,
Yeah, yo.
Charlemagne is crazy.
He's wilding because he
yeah,
said that.
Yeah, he did say that. I was
And he's really about to get out, so pucker up. There you go, buddy.
Shit, him
Talking all that shit all the time.
Envy gay as shit. They both gay, which is fine.
Envy and his fucking beige meter is hilarious.
Yo,
The beige meter.
I just would like Envy to
Yo,
just come
man.
out.
Okay, shout out to Killer
publicly
Mike,
come out.
first off. Shout out
You
to
don't
Killer
have
Mike.
to. You don't have to, but I'm saying
What?
I would love for Envy to publicly come out and address the fact that he's actually homosexual. The whole finger up the butt thing. You ain't see that interview they did with Casanova?
Oh, he said it like a finger in his ass.
Yeah,
I mean, he a fucking freak. I don't mean gay though. That's his.
No,
that's his thing, bro.
Came out and said that?
Yeah, bro. He said he lets his wife finger his ass.
I don't know, bro.
He said that on fucking camera?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
He's a fucking deviant, bro.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know,
Scorpio.
bro.
I thought I was.
Nah, bro. He might be a Pisces, bro. He might.
fucking
Yo,
Pisces.
he was born March 7th. I swear to
Pisces
God.
gonna
Look it
take
up.
Was he really
Yeah.
born March 7th?
He was Pisces, Aries, cusp.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
You wouldn't know Pisces here.
Cusp.
That is some alien shit, actually.
Yo, he might be a water sign. I don't know. But
You need to
look,
look that up, somebody.
this the
please.
thing. He might be, bro. I don't know, bro. But all I'm saying is, look, he yeah, no, he was on some weird shit, bro. He like getting the fingers in his ass, bro. Nah, that ain't.
See,
Yo,
that's the thing. Where's the stop? If you get one finger, what you gonna want? Two when the one
Hey,
finger don't
the
fit?
one finger, you don't have no control of the two.
I don't
Man.
know, bro.
When does it
Whatever they
stop?
do when they're married,
You need a cutoff line. You need to draw a line in the sand.
word in there.
Yo, he might, yo.
We can't just all be out here androgynous sexual beings. It's not gonna work for
I don't
me.
know, yo.
It's not gonna work for
They
me.
are trying to create that world.
I
here.
need to know what's a man and what's a woman. I can't.
Man, they
I
trying
don't
to
know,
blur
bro.
all the
He
lines.
take it to the third knuckle, too,
All
bro.
sex. All
Third knuckle, right? The third knuckle,
Jesus
Damn,
Christ.
bro.
There are three
Talk about
knuckles on
Shea
the finger.
Moisture.
Look, all I'm saying
Pause
is
all this.
definitely a pause on the entire.
But look, here's the thing, bro. I think, you know, yeah, I swear to God, I think, yo,
Envy
I
needs to
think,
get his life together.
but no, I'm gonna tell you, my theory is on,
Envy loves his
I
wife.
think,
Jesus.
I think people who have a lot of money and have a lot of access to sex and have a lot of sex in their career as men will be more at risk and to fall into deviant sexual behaviors because they've done so much that they just get like pushed further and further. You know,
I feel like that for sure. That's like that whole Ron Kelly thing. Like you got these girls pushed to this limit.
No, he's got.
he's a fucking pedophile.
That's different.
No, I'm just saying,
he's an
man, if you
actual-
got them doing that early, like they're gonna be cursed for the rest of their lives of needing to get to that point sexually.
well, I'm talking about just like
I don't like talking about little girls and sex.
yeah, I'm talking about just more so like
That was a triggered moment. I shouldn't have touched. Shouldn't have touched on that. You didn't hug.
Shut up.
You didn't hug. You didn't hug.
Get away
You
from me.
didn't unpack something.
Don't talk to me.
But I do think, when you have a lot of fucking free sex and then you just feel like your threshold for arousal gets a little bit higher and higher, so you may start to like experiment with different fucking free shit, bro, and you end up getting fucking getting fucking plugged in your ass with a fucking thumb, bro.
That's
like,
what I'm
saying.
That's why you have to draw a line.
You feel me? You gotta draw a line.
You have to draw a line.
You gotta be firm in your decisions.
I'm gonna put this out there
Like,
because
look.
it's just a known thing now that a lot of men out here
What you about to say?
Be more exclusive.
What you about to say?
This ain't no B-Water exclusive. This is just B-Water being B for real. This is B for real, man. This ain't 50 B. This is B for
I'm
real.
gonna flip the couch.
All right. Some motherfuckers be getting their ass ate. You know what I'm saying?
I'm one of them. I'm a card-carrying member of the society.
Whoa, I didn't
Yeah.
specify that. But all I'm saying is, if you at that point, it's a slippery slope.
You draw the line.
That's why you draw the line.
You draw the line.
That's why you draw the line. So
You have to have the willpower.
You gotta know where it gets
willpower.
That's a very
Put the
slippery
line
line
in.
to slide down.
Well, it's gonna get. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. But look, I'm gonna make a very reckless joke. It's gonna get very reckless.
Do it.
And
Do the joke.
It had to do with.
Do the bit, Paul.
It had to do with sliding and slipperiness. But
Do the bit.
But no, I think you get to a point where you start experimenting, and if you're rich and powerful, you feel like you can fucking do anything you want. You're gonna start fucking dabbling in some of the fucking debauchery. Bro. Like, but look,
get bored.
that's what I'm saying. You get bored regular sex, you smashing bitches, you know what I'm saying, regular all night. And then one of them throws out the bright idea that you want saying whatever, and then you fucking doing coke and shit like that, you get drunk, you feel me, your name on the fucking radio and things like that, you start getting, next thing you know, you want all fours in the bed.
That's why you gotta draw the line. You gotta draw the line. The tongue is the furthest I will let a girl venture into my asshole. That's it. That's it. The fact that you haven't done that yet kind of bothers me. It bothers me. It does.
We ain't had to put that all the way on.
No, the tongue. Come on, Paul, don't do that.
No, I don't know.
What is it? What do you mean you don't know?
Hey man, look.
Wait.
To each his own, you know what I'm saying? Everybody does what the fuck they want to do.
Is that Wildberry? Is that a Pop-Tart?
Nah.
Damn, that's good.
That ain't no Pop-Tart, but
What is it?
it's something else, bro. That's
What?
a tart.
What? No, I don't know what that means.
That ain't mean nothing.
No, it didn't mean it because it wasn't. That's the thing.
Fucking street.
Okay. Okay.
That's that.
We should buy you jewel bars from the gas station. Where you getting them from?
That's that Reggie Kush
I
right
want to
there.
know where I get my pods from.
You got black market pods?
Come on, man. Look, don't even worry about that. I got the special pod.
You so extra. Nigga, just smoke it. Why you gotta make a whole fucking event out of it?
You already know. I got this special pod. Kind of a big deal, to be honest.
You treat jewel pods like a rec team, nigga. It ain't that big.
Oh, wow. AAU, thank you very much. But yeah, all right. So are we good on everything? What are we talking? We got down to the bottom.
I think we hit on everything.
The Gucci Louis Prada.
Unless you want to talk about the discussion we were having via the group chat, or is that too?
What was that?
We were talking about legalization of sex work.
Nope, we're not going there today.
Okay.
We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap
That's a
this
story
up.
for another podcast.
We're not going there today. I'll tell you that much.
I'm
This
saying, you
has
over that can of
been
worms.
The season
Big
2
old can of worms.
premiere of the Be Water podcast. We're coming with peace, love, and understanding. God damn it, the Be Water podcast. Be Water, the movement. All right. You know, we gotta love each other. We gotta fucking work with each other because we all in the same shitty ass boat. That's my fucking motto.
Yeah, that's okay.
We in the same shitty ass boat. We gotta try to make our days easier for each other rather than hard. Because we ain't the ones. We ain't the ones who made this like that hard for us. What'd you say, Free?
Said high tides raise all boats.
High tides raise our boats. You know what that means. I don't know what the fuck that meant.
That's why I fuck with P, because he knew it immediately.
He knew what it meant with me.
Yeah.
Fuck both of you, because I don't know what the
Because
fuck
I'm
you
a fiscal
guys are talking
conservative.
about.
That's fine.
It's because you need to read some fucking books from us, you fucking liar.
Oh yeah, read some books. Yeah.
Look at the fuck.
Read some books. Tell you what.
Read a book, damn it.
Hey, be water world. All right, everybody, cool, calm, calculated. Live your truth, love self, love always. All right, it's the Be Water podcast. Welcome, goddammit. Season 2. Stop the podcast. It's still on the live stream. Louis Rob. What's up, Berto? Yeah, we just finished the first episode, season 2, Be Water Podcast. Your boy, Goody Be For Real. You already see what it is. Lakers, you already know. Got a big win last night against Houston. Ain't nobody got no words for that.
Yeah, I mean, the refs helped y'all out.
Oh, the refs. It's a CP3 fan over there.
It's fine.
Look at the body language.
It's fine. It's
Look at the
whatever.
body language.
He's very dejected.
He's very tight.
Fuck off.
Very tight. Very tight over there. So, somebody's man.
Refs helped you out. It's whatever. LeBron some shit.
I don't know what it is.
I'm LeBron James and I still can't go left. What is that?
Oh.
Why can't I go left?
Hey, he almost the GOAT. So you can't
I got
do that.
championships and I can't go left.
You got an eye on, bro.
Come on, man.
I got rings and I can't go left. What is
Can't do
that?
But yeah, finishing off. Thank everybody who tuned in.
This nigga 6'8" finishing on his left with his right
Hey, I
hand.
appreciate that, Berto. I appreciate that.
I do the same
That was
thing.
my homeboy, the Bill Cosby joint. Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, we coming back. You already know. This is the first episode, but definitely in 2 more weeks I'm gonna have the next episode. We're gonna talk about more. We're gonna have going on with the second
Hey, yo,
season.
4 shots?
I can't.
More shots coming. You already see what's going on here. Ill Supply Apparel. Follow them at Ill Supply Apparel. B
I
underscore
know
water
what half,
podcast.
but I gotta get a
B
whole thing.
underscore water.
Steroids, bro.
Gary Wills,
Can't
2
be
R's.
quit
Julio
now.
underscore
Well,
sniper.
you know, if I do that, I can't drink at all.
That's what I'm
Follow
saying.
them, follow us. Peace, love, understanding. You already
We're
know.
gonna be fucking.
Enjoy your night. Enjoy your evening. All right, y'all.
That only happens if you don't take the shit